All right, this update is brought to you by the San Diego Seals. Padres start a 6-game road trip tonight in Houston. First up, it's the Astros, 5:10 first pitch. Kyle Hart will be on the mound for the Padres. And San Diego FC takes on Charlotte tomorrow night on the road. 4 p.m. is when our pregame coverage starts. 4:30 kickoff time. You can listen to that match right here on your home of SDFC, San Diego Sports 760. Playoffs are on the line, and the San Diego Seals need you in the stands. It's Fan Appreciation Night tonight, April 18th at 7:30 p.m. First 4,000 fans get a free Seals beach tote. $5 beers all night long. Do not miss it. Tickets on sale at sealslax.com.
Getting you all set for that drive home. Let's just start the show. Here's Jon and Jim.
All right, San Diego and Southern California, what's going on? We are live from the 2025 AztecLink Coryell Classic Golf Tournament Riverwalk here in Mission Valley. We'll be with you for the next 4 hours. We're getting you ready for tomorrow's showcase event at Snapdragon Stadium, Aztec Fast Spring Showcase. Free tickets available right now, by the way, for that event tomorrow afternoon at Snapdragon at GoAztecs.com. We're outside. We're at this golf event, and we're going to start the show with the Athletic Director for San Diego State, Jim. You guys have met before, right?
We have a couple times. He's seen more the back of my head
right.
than actually the front of my face.
But JD Wicker's with us. Good to see you, JD.
It's great to be here. Appreciate y'all coming out and supporting the AztecLink golf event and our Aztec football team.
I go back to one of my vivid memories from our time doing the show together, Jim, is literally San Diego State had qualified for its first ever Final Four in men's basketball. And there was a press conference in the Alumni Center, right? Not even in Fowler, but next door to Fowler.
Yeah.
And there's all this media.
Oh, yeah.
And JD, either during the event or right before the event, is like, oh, Jim, like I recognize you from the back of your head. This is San Diego State's going to the Final Four. This is
I literally climbed under a chair to get the angle to make it so that Jim's head would be right in probably Matt Bradley's face. So.
Yeah, it's perfect. I mean, one of the biggest moments in school history, and the athletic director's taking a picture of the back of my head. That was perfect.
JD, tell us about. There's obviously a lot going on with San Diego State. I want to start with the event today, and then the spring showcase going on tomorrow at Snapdragon Stadium. But we all know about the importance of collectives and the work that AztecLink is doing with San Diego State football. How important is an event like this today, tying in the community, raising funds for the football program through these collectives?
Yeah, I mean, today collectives are very important, and in the new world of college athletics that we have, we are doing NIL deals with student athletes, and it's important for our collectives to have the revenue that they need to retain the players and to recruit the players in that we need to do. And Link's done a great job, and the coaching staff, we had a core group of kids that we wanted to keep after last football season, and they did a really good job of getting that done. But we've got to, continue to keep raising revenue, and, the world's probably about to change a little bit with the House settlement. But right now, contributing to AztecLink for Aztec football is very important. So a day like today where we're going to have a chance to raise a lot of money is important.
Now, are you going to go out on the golf course? Are you a golfer?
I am not a golfer.
You're not a golfer.
I'm not a golfer.
So, no, you're not going to go out there and take a couple hacks?
No, that would got a bad elbow, and I can't remember the last time I really swung a golf club. Although I did play at Top Golf in Vegas at the conference tournament. Driver only, because if I ground the club, it's bad for the elbow. And actually, I did win the competition that we.
Is that right?
Had. Yes.
Have you ever seen John take a swing?
It's not great.
Does it look like him eating a chicken sandwich I saw him eating today? No, I'm just kidding.
So when you saw him eating that, by the way, were you shocked that he was eating without a fork and a knife?
No, I did eat with a fork and a knife.
I know you did.
Yeah, I did. I mean,
you did.
It's messy.
Well, he started without the fork and the knife.
He's the only person that eats burgers with forks and knives. I don't get it. But anyway, back to this event today. We can go off on that whole rest of the show. The event today, how important is it for the NIL initiative, AztecLink, and making sure that everybody is aware of what is trying to go on here for the football program?
Yeah, I mean, one, it's great that we get a lot of former players back that come and play, and then community members, and there's a lot of football players out here too, as well as coaching staff. So it's a chance for them to really get together and spend some time together, and really get to dig in with coaches and players of what they've got going on. And they've got great auction items that you can actually, I think anybody can bid on the silent auction items.
They're amazing,
they've got some
by the
really
way.
good stuff. So it's, and it's important in this day and age that, we're sharing revenue with student athletes, and that's the expectation. And, we want to continue getting Aztec football back to where we were a couple of years ago. And people recognize that, so they're here to support us.
JD Wicker, San Diego State's athletic director, with us right now. Jon Jim, San Diego Sports 760. Let's talk about tomorrow. It's an Aztec Fest Showcase at Snapdragon Stadium. This is free for our community. You can grab tickets right now. You just have to do that at goaztecs.com. It's going to have a little bit of a different look tomorrow as opposed to years past. What can you tell our listeners about what's going on tomorrow at Snapdragon?
Yeah, gates will open at 12. It's $10 to park, free to walk in the building with your ticket. And it is different. We're not going to do a traditional spring game from 12 to 1. There's going to be an opportunity. Football players will be up on the concourse. You can mix and mingle. There'll be, I think, some autograph signings and some other things like that. And then starting at 1 o'clock, they're going to, I think, have 7 different stations is what it is. They'll have dodgeball, tic-tac-toe, quarterback accuracy, relay race, and some other things, punt and catch. So where teams are going to compete. So you'll have, some number of football players on each team, and they're going to compete, and it's going to be pretty rapid fire to get it done. And then at the end, they'll do a 7-on-7. So people will get to see a Jaden Denegal, a Bert Emanuel throw the ball. And actually, the coaches have been extremely happy with what they've seen from spring practice, the growth that we've had. Offensive line, they're very happy with where the offensive line is right now. They're looking to add a couple kids to the portal for some depth, but they feel we're in a much better place than we were this time last year.
Yeah, I was just about to ask you that your thoughts in this upcoming season. Year 2, Sean Lewis. I know last year, everything goes by so quickly when you hire a new head coach. They have to do so many things, and the football season starts like that. But now that he's had a full year under his belt, and kind of gotten into the groove of things, what's your expectations and thoughts on the upcoming season?
Yeah, talking to the coaching staffs, talking to the players, they're like, it's such a difference year 2.
Yeah,
I mean, they've had all this time. You've got a core group of guys that understand what's important to you. You're building that culture, and they're excited. I mean, I was out at the practice Thursday, their last full practice. They were scrimmaging and doing various things, and Sean was going on about how good the offensive line's been, and watching Jaden and Bert play it, with quarterback play, and they feel really good about that. And then Sean's like, he's like, although we were in this this 2-minute drill the other day, and 5 plays, and Trey White absolutely blew up 3 of them.
Of course, yeah.
On the defensive side of the ball, we're going to be really good. I mean, you look at some of the guys coming back on the defensive side of the ball, Trey and Tano and Butler, and it's going to be, we have an opportunity, to be good. I like our schedule. We've got hard games at home, which is good. So we need people to, buy tickets, come support the student athletes at Snapdragon, and we'll be better than we were last year. And the goal is to definitely, be in a bowl game again this year, as we've missed the last 2 years. And maybe we'll see, if we're good enough, we'll challenge for a conference championship.
Let's talk about that home schedule with JD Wicker, San Diego State's athletic director. Boise State is coming to San Diego this year at Snapdragon Stadium for a second time, I think, in the stadium's history. California, Cal will be here after the Aztecs played in Berkeley last year. Colorado State will be here as well. What do you want our listeners to know about the upcoming football season at Snapdragon Stadium?
Yeah, I mean, tickets are on sale. We've got, a variety of pricing options. We've got premium for sale, and, it's a great stadium. It's one of the best stadiums in the country, seat for seat. So come out and support the Aztecs. And it's a very good, last Mountain West Conference schedule. If you want to, you can come out and celebrate, San Diego State moving to the new Pac-12 we'll go out and try to win one last Mountain West Conference championship. But, Boise, Cal, Colorado State, some of those teams that are going to be at the top of the league are coming to Snapdragon. So it's going to be important to support that. And, let's go win some games.
The new Pac-12 definitely is going to help you guys in football and in basketball as well. Speaking of basketball, what Coach Dutch has done this offseason in the portal, I mean, that is something very impressive. When it was viewed by the fans as this is the end of the program. Nolan Goon's leaving, this is leaving. And to see what he has done bringing back players that, are so important, like Magoon and Miles Bird. There's still opportunities for them to potentially go to the NBA, but Latrell Davis the other day, right? What's your thoughts on everything that's transpired with the basketball team?
Yeah, again, I think that goes to thank you to everyone who supported Mesa. Because Mesa plays a big part in that, and the NIL deals that we were able to do with student athletes, but they're not the NIL deals that other people are signing. A lot of it's built on the culture of 20 plus years of Steve Fisher and Brian Dutcher building a program that competes consistently for championships, that develops guys that can go play professionally, whether that's in the NBA or overseas. And it's a culture that you're taking care of guys. We always hear about players, they loved their time at San Diego State because it truly is a family. I mean, this is a group. It's not a bunch of guys it's a commodity. You're here to play basketball. You're here to play basketball. You're here to get your degree and all the other things that go with it, the life skills, and that basketball staff does such a great job with that is a recruiting piece, as well as the NIL piece.
JD Wicker is with us right now. I don't want to let a streak of asking you about the Pac-12 or realignment or media rights go. We've probably talked about this for years on end. I mean, ever since USC and UCLA left the Pac-12 for the Big Ten, this has been a talking point nationally throughout college athletics. Is there an update as we're about a year away from San Diego State entering the Pac-12 on what comes next for the league as you transition towards 2026?
Yeah, the league and the consultants are working hard on television. Very pleased with how that's moving along. Don't let what you hear in the news that, oh my God, if they don't have this done at this certain point, it's the end of the world. Everything's going great from that standpoint. Working on that 8th full member that plays football. That will happen very quickly after we start announcing some TV information, and then we've really got to get into the nitty-gritty of putting the league back together. I mean, that's one of those things when July 1 of whatever that was, 2024, a whole bunch of people left the Pac-12 and they didn't run any championships really last year, and they weren't doing all the support that they would do for a full league. So we've got to go back and we've got to rebuild all of that. So that'll be a lot of work from from staff on all the campuses and the conference. And, we're excited to get into that and, start that process so that when July 1, 2026 arrives, we're off and running.
How happy are you with the success of SDFC at Snapdragon Stadium so far?
That's been awesome. SDFC, the Wave came in originally and did such a great job, and they've had a better start to the season than maybe some thought. And then SDFC is just, they're doing such a phenomenal job. It's an exciting brand of soccer to watch. And, really happy for them. It's one of those things we've, kind of been there with them all the way along as they start. Tom Penn and I go back to May of 2021 or something like that when we had, first conversations about what if. So it's really fun to see that group, especially, our friends at Saquon, and the success they're having. So
real quick on that, JD, before you go, in terms of what that means for your athletics department and the university, how significant is Snapdragon Stadium in what it means for athletics in San Diego State moving forward?
Yeah, from a revenue standpoint, obviously SDFC being successful is great for us. The Wave being successful is great for us. Concerts, dirt shows, Aztec football, from a revenue standpoint, but it's such a great community asset. That's, was at Petco recently, and that's awesome. But, the city of San Diego helped, the Padres build that. San Diego State built that stadium for this community. And we said all along that was what was important to us, was that we San Diego State and our fans, donors, alumni, and supporters create a community asset for San Diego. And we've done that.
JD, let's go do a longest drive competition. Me, you, and Jim. Jim will probably win. JD,
I heard Jim's a good golfer.
He's a really good golfer.
I would outdrive you guys.
That's great.
Humble brag there. Humble brag.
Right. Well, we're gonna have to do it now.
Well, JD says he's got a bad arm, and then
I can still hit driver.
I got a bad body.
John has a bad everything. So
we'll hit Top Golf in Vegas. You'll have to come to Vegas next year.
I will.
For Mount West Conference basketball, and we'll go to Top
Maybe
Golf.
My invite will actually come this time.
Talk to iHeart. All right, JD Wicker, great
Thanks,
to see
guys.
you. San Diego State's
Appreciate
Athletic Director. Much more from the AztecLink Coryell Classic Golf Tournament here at Riverwalk. On the other side is Jon and Jim. right, Jon and Jim back out here at the AztecLink Coryell Classic Golf Tournament Riverwalk in Mission Valley with you until 6 p.m. We have a really good show lined up. We just had JD Wicker on the show. If you missed that, you can check it out on the iHeartRadio app. Trey White, who was one of the nation's leading pass rushers a year ago with that sack total, he'll join us coming up later this hour. Sean Lewis will join us in the 3 o'clock hour. We'll get into the Padres with Kevin Acee, who will join us as he typically does on Fridays as the Padres get ready for the Astros here tonight. But a really good show lined up. It's good to be outside, Jim, for the first time in a while. The sun is peeking through. We're at Riverwalk, and you probably want to be out there playing golf, and I probably don't want to be out there.
I am itching at the bit. We are, I forget what hole this is over here. Okay, it's number 1. So we are next to the number 1 tee box, and yeah, I want to ditch you so bad.
You can if you want. You want to go out there and hit some like drives or something?
That would be kind of awkward if I just
go up
pull up and
Did
I'm
you
like,
bring
hey
your
guys.
clubs?
Always been my clubs.
You always have your clubs.
I always have my clubs.
Everywhere you go, you have your clubs.
My clubs are always in my car.
I'm at Vaughn's.
I'm at Vaughn's. My clubs
case.
are in my car. I'm at Target. My clubs are in the car. I have them in my car because I don't have anywhere else to put them in my house.
Right.
Like I could stash them away in a closet or something, but it just then I have to, like, if I want to go golfing, I got to bring it out. And sometimes after work, I like to go to the driving range down the street, and I just have my clubs with me.
By the way, I want our listeners to know, because we're at this AztecLink Golf Tournament, and you're listening, so you're not here, right? But you have an opportunity to bid on some really cool memorabilia. That, again, with proceeds going to AztecLink, which supports San Diego State football. But, for example, you don't even have to be an Aztec football fan, because some of these silent auction items, Jim, are terrific, including a signed, we're right by it. There's a signed Fernando Tatis Jr. road uniform or jersey inside here at Riverwalk. This is signed by Tatis. It's authenticated. Part of that package is also a Joe Musgrove signed baseball.
Yeah.
So if you want to bid on those items, you don't have to be here to win. You can just go find AztecLink on social media at AztecLink, and you can bid on those items. That auction is going to close tonight, I think, at 7:30. The Tatis jersey, for example, right now you can get for $600. It's probably going to be worth literally thousands of dollars.
Oh, for sure.
A signed Fernando Tatis Jr. jersey.
There's a really cool Aztec Letterman jacket in there.
It's spectacular.
That I know John
I want it.
would drop a couple grand on, but your wife would murder you.
I think you can have it for $610 because or $619 maybe, because part of this link to 619.
That makes sense, John.
Yeah.
Also, there are some custom made Aztec golf cleats.
Jordan brand golf cleats. Really cool.
I mean, valued at hundreds of dollars.
It was like $1,000.
They are so cool. There's a bunch of experiences and other signed memorabilia. There's a Tony Gwynn signed Padres,
I think
batting helmet in there from the orange and blue days.
That's right.
There's Marshall Falk memorabilia in there signed by him. Signed helmets from his days with the Rams and the Colts, I want to say.
You're right.
There's other signed Aztec football helmets as well. And like you said, this all supports AztecLink and the football program here. All the proceeds go to that.
So yeah, find them online at AztecLink. Again, you can bid from anywhere, and we'll have winners coming up later tonight at 7:30. So we'll get back to this event that's going on at Riverwalk. We'll have great guests with us, including Sean Lewis joining us in the 3 o'clock hour. Of course, also in San Diego, the Padres getting set for a series in Houston. That's going to get underway at 5:10. Kevin Acee will join us at 4 p.m. here today. Padres are 15-4. I saw an amazing note. I took a photo of it. I wasn't even planning to mention this, but I just thought of it, Jim.
What'd you think of?
This is what I thought of. I saw it on Reddit. I'm starting to use Reddit, by the way. I found it to be a pretty good resource. I don't know if you ever use it. Do you?
No. See, there's so many things out there that I have to try to focus on. Like,
I know.
No,
you're right. You're right.
When there's like literally 50
100
that I could go to from news.
Well, what I saw on Reddit is the Padres are the 5th team in the last 10 years to have at least 15 wins in their first 20 games. That's guaranteed.
Is that good?
15-4. Yeah. So they're only the 5th team in the last 10 years. But listen to this. Of the other 4 teams, 3 of them made the World Series and 2 of them won it. So they're the 5th team in the last 10 years to start with at least 15 wins in their first 20. Of the other 4, 3 made the World Series, 2 won it. Here are the teams. 2015 Mets lost to the Royals, right?
Right.
2016 Cubs won the World Series.
Did they win the World Series?
I forget. If the Cubs won a World Series.
Brent, they've won a World Series, right?
I don't know if the Cubs have. Okay. The 2018 Red Sox won a World Series.
Yep.
The only team in here that didn't, they started 14-0 at home with the 2023 Rays,
Mm.
which made the postseason.
Right.
But again, history's not, this doesn't necessarily mean anything. We'll find out at the end of the year if it does. But how about that? Just the fifth team in the last 10 years to win 15 of their first 20 or better, and 3 of the other 4 have made a World Series.
You know what that also tells me, like you said there, all of them made the postseason.
All of them made the postseason, correct.
So
right? The 2023 Rays made the postseason. They definitely did.
I'm pretty sure they did. If they didn't, I think that was the year that the Texas Rangers won the World Series.
They won 99 games.
Yes, they played the Texas Rangers in the division round, and the Rangers were hot, and they beat the Rays, and obviously they went on to win the World Series that year against the Arizona Diamondbacks. So, yeah, while that stat of 4 of the 5 teams to win 15 of the first 20 games have reached the World Series, all 5 of them have made the postseason.
Well, 4 of them have made the postseason. Then there's the Padres of this year.
Okay, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, the previous 4, and now again, I think it speaks to those that say, well, it's only 19 games, or look who they've played, or it's a long year. And I agree, it is a long year, and there probably will be challenges ahead. I'm not guaranteeing what we just said there. 3 of the 4 teams making a World Series, or even that Rays team. 99 wins would be the best team in the history of the Padres.
Literally the best team in franchise history. Yeah.
We can't guarantee that, but I mean, if you don't feel good about where they are or what their chances are this year, I do feel good about where they are, and I do feel really good about their chances this year, not to win a World Series necessarily. We'll feel that out over the next 5+ months, but I feel really good about just where they are and where they were last year, coming out of last year.
I was one of the people that, and there was many people that thought this, like, did they get better from the end of last year?
We didn't necessarily think they did in the offseason, losing Profar, losing their catcher. Sure, they added Nick Pivetta, which was significant.
And I've seen this too. Our buddy Mark Bartlett said it, and I agree with him. They're better at this time this year than they were at this time last year.
Right.
But I was more focused on the end of last year to the beginning of this year, because those time frames closer together, and you get a better indication of who they are. Like, were they coming into this year a better team than they were at the end of last year? I still stand by, like, no, on paper they weren't, because the pieces they lost, but they are sure as hell playing, even with new pieces, exactly like they were at the end of last year in the regular season. And they're just keeping it rolling. They are playing, a brand of baseball that is, they're never out of it. Grit squad. They're always going to be in games, and with the bullpen that they have, with the starting pitching they have, and with what their stars are doing. That's another important piece to the puzzle. Is how many times have we talked over the last 5 years? Stars need to perform.
Well, they've done that.
They have absolutely done that for the first 20 games of the season.
Machado's, Tatis's. No, you're right.
Merrill, when he's healthy, like, they've all been great.
All right, we're going to get into these pitching matchups this weekend. Also, not only do the Padres have the best record in baseball, they also have something else that leads baseball that we'll explain on the other side. We're at Riverwalk for this AztecLink Golf Tournament until 6 p.m. Great guests lined up here today, including Sean Lewis, who will join us in the 3 p.m. hour. This is Jon Jim.
All right, this update is brought to you by the San Diego Seals. Padres start a 6-game road trip starting in Houston tonight against the Astros. 5:10 first pitch there. Kyle Hart be on the mound for the Padres. And San Diego FC takes on Charlotte tomorrow night on the road, 4 p.m. That's when our pregame coverage starts. 4:30 is kickoff. Of course, you can listen to that match right here on your home for SDFC, San Diego Sports 760. Playoffs are on the line, and the San Diego Seals need you in the stands. It's Fan Appreciation Night tonight, April 18th at 7:30 p.m. First 4,000 fans get a free Seals beach tote. $5 beers all night long. Do not miss it. Tickets are on sale right now at sealslax.com.
All right, Jon and Jim, San Diego Sports 760. Speaking of, well, actually nothing. San Diego FC back on the road tomorrow
Speaking of
night.
nothing.
Yeah, San Diego FC is back on the road tomorrow night taking on Charlotte FC. You can hear the match tomorrow afternoon, 4 p.m. right here on San Diego Sports 760. You're home for San Diego FC because I just heard you do that read, and it was for the Seals.
Yeah.
And in my head, I'm like, oh, it was for San Diego FC, and I was doing an SDFC read, but it wasn't for SDFC. It was for
Makes
the
sense.
Seals. I mean, we've got a lot going on this weekend. We've got, again, the showcase tomorrow at Snapdragon Stadium.
Absolutely.
We have, obviously, San Diego FC right here on San Diego Sports 760.
Yep. Padres are in Houston.
Padres are in Houston, as we've been talking about. Kevin Acee will join us coming up at 4 p.m. Trey White, by the way. So we're at Riverwalk here in Mission Valley, and Trey White, the outstanding edge rusher, one of the premier edge rushers in America, will join us, or is scheduled to join us in about 15 minutes. We're at the AztecLink Classic Golf Tournament. Sean Lewis is going to join us. Again, Kevin on the Padres at 4 p.m. We'll be joined by San Diego State's new general manager, Caleb Davis, who's been on the show before as well. Donnel Pumphrey is scheduled to join us, the all-time leading FBS rushing leader, at some point in the 4 o'clock hour as well. So a really good couple of hours lined up, and we'll be here. The sun is out and shining after some rain showers earlier this afternoon.
There's blue sky over there, John.
I know. Like, is this, would you call this good golfing weather? It's overcast, cool, slightly windy. You've had better?
Yeah. I look, at least it's not raining. Obviously, that would be bad. A little cold doesn't hurt anybody. The wind could, affect things, but hey, man, anytime you can go out and play golf, it's a good day.
Yeah, on a work day, come on.
And a work day, absolutely.
All right, so
Friday?
We've been touching on, obviously, we had JD Wicker on the show. We're going to be talking San Diego State athletics and San Diego State football. We're talking about the Padres as they get ready for this series. So we mentioned the fact that the Padres are 15-4. It remains the best record in baseball. They also have the best run differential in the major leagues at plus 37. Some people would tell you it's a better indicator than record.
Hang the banner.
Yeah, I know. Where do they put it? Does it go in the Western Metal Supply, or does it go down the right field line?
There's so many banners that they already have this
What do you
year.
put? Plus 37 run differential on April 18th? Is that what you would put on the banner, or would you word that differently?
I would probably put first team to 15 wins on the banner.
First team to plus 37 run differential.
And then the next banner is plus best run differential through the first 20 games of the season. Well, 19 actually, 20's tonight. And then after that, you also have to put the 12-0 start at home record on a banner as well. So you got at least 3 banners that the Padres can hang this year so far.
I do like that. Tonight, Kyle Hart will be on the mound. He's been really good at home. I want to say his only road start was it the Sacramento start?
It was Sacramento,
where he really struggled.
He
didn't
did.
make it out of the first.
He pitched 2/3 of an inning.
That's right.
And then Logan Gillespie came in, and without Logan Gillespie, they don't in that game.
They ended up winning that game. That's right.
No,
the game they lost was the Dylan Cease game.
No, I was wrong.
Oh, this is in Chicago, and he didn't make it out of the first inning. Yeah, that's right.
I remember that. Yeah.
So it is Kyle Hart tonight. He's facing a right-hander. Here's what's interesting about the Astros. This is a team that's been in the postseason 8 straight years, right? And they've been in all these American League Championship Series, even World Series.
Yeah.
They early on have not hit, like at all. We could go into the numbers. No, I mean, it's just a factual statement. So far, they haven't hit, but
would have jinxed it.
But Kyle Hart hasn't necessarily been unhittable so far this year. No, I mean, what do you want me to say?
You know what's going to happen.
What do you want me
right?
to say? They're the best offense in baseball?
Astros are going to put up a 9 spot.
Well, if that happens, it's like Kyle Hart. I'm not taking the April 18th blame.
That's on you, buddy. You would You would say the exact same thing to me.
Well, what do you want me to say? It's not my fault they're 26th in batting and 27th in slug.
Great. Just give me
10
more.
first inning runs.
What's Jose Altuve doing this year? I'm sure he's struggling.
He
right?
hasn't had a hit. No,
What about Yordan Alvarez? I'm sure he's struggling.
No, he's been good. He's been good.
But they're all going to get hot this series, of course.
Yeah, I mean, listen. Here's the thing: the Padres are an underdog today because it's about pitching matchups. And Kyle Hart, on the road in Houston, but the Astros are 8-10 and the Padres are 15-4. I think we said yesterday that if they can get through this trip 3-3, they would come home 18-7. I mean, that's an incredible start. So you don't have to do anything special here on the road to keep going with this terrific start this year.
Do you want to hear tonight's lineup?
Yeah, I would love to.
Okay.
So are you going to share it?
That's what you did to me today.
Did. You're like, what time is Sean Lewis on? Oh, Jim texted me. Do you know what time Sean Lewis is on the show today? I said, I do. So great.
That's great. Thanks for letting me know.
Do you want me to tell you?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
All right. So Fernando Tatis Jr., of course, leading off. Luis Arise hitting second at first base. Manny Machado's at third. Xander Bogaerts is cleanup man tonight at shortstop. Gavin Sheets is your DH. Jose Iglesias at second. Jason Hayward is in left. My boy Tyler Wade's in center, and Martin Maldonado is behind the plate.
See, I like when they face a right-handed starter because, again, they've hit righties better. They're facing a right-hander here tonight. I just feel more comfortable when they're facing a right-handed starter, which is the case here tonight. Now, I'd feel better when they get Jackson Merrill back against a right-handed starter as well. But for considering the circumstance, Merrill out, he's not on the trip. Cronenworth out, he's not on the trip. Lockridge out. I mean, again, they're without a lot of guys, but I'll take my chances with that lineup, especially the way Tatis has played.
Did you know that Tyler Wade gets to play baseball in Houston tonight?
I did know that, yes.
Yeah.
So Wade is in center?
Wade's in center tonight.
For a second consecutive game.
Yes. So
all right.
I think looking at this team, how they play on the road this year, I mean, shoot, if they are going to be as good as they have been, not to the 12-1 mark the entire season at home,
that'd be good.
But if they are going to be a dominant home team, you're not asking them to go out on the road and on a 6-game road trip go 4-2 all the time.
Right.
Like, you can live with 3-3 road trips. Now, obviously, you'd want to be better, but with what they have done at home so far this year, 12-1 mark. It doesn't put in I get it's early, but it doesn't make it so you have to go on the road and be this really, really good road team because you are an average home team like they were last year. And it kind of was flipped. They weren't as good on the road as they are this year at home last year, but they were a good road team to start out in the season.
They were.
And they were a very average home team.
Yeah, but you bring up a good point because it's not about going 12-1. I mean, even 50-31 is very attainable when you start 12-1. And if you win 50 times at home and 40 times on the road, you're right back to where you were last year, basically. It's a really good season. And maybe they do better than that based on the way they've started.
I do think they can do better.
I do. I think they can be better than a 500 team on the road this year.
I think the mentality of this team is like bring it on type of mentality.
Yep.
And being on the road, I know Schulte and I know this us against the world, right? Like mentality, even though it's a Friday night in Houston, but still their mentality is we'll play you any place, anytime, anywhere, doesn't matter. They're not scared of going on the road. They're not scared of other environments. And frankly, there's not another environment in baseball other than probably Dodger Stadium that you could say like the crowd actually gets into it because Petco is the best home crowd in baseball, bar none, this season. No questions asked.
No doubt about it. All right, we're going to catch up with Trey White, the outstanding edge rusher for San Diego State. He's got to be a Padres fan, right? Out of Eastlake High School in Chula Vista. He's saying, oh, yeah, we see him. He's going to join us on the other side of a break. Trey White coming off a terrific year, back for another in 2025. He'll join us next on Jon and Jim. right, sun is out. 2025 AztecLink Coryell Classic Golf Tournament. We're at Riverwalk here in Mission Valley. The spring showcase tomorrow at Snapdragon Stadium. Free tickets, by the way, available at goaztecs.com. It is our pleasure to be joined by an outstanding edge rusher for San Diego State, Trey White, the San Diegan out of Eastlake in Chula Vista, back with us on Jon Jim. And Trey, we appreciate you. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for hopping on.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me. Always a pleasure to be on here.
It is great to be with you. You know, I think a lot of Aztec fans were nervous about what your 2025 was going to look like, you and your teammates, but you announced this offseason unfinished business coming off last year. Personally, you had a terrific year with all the sacks and the tackles for loss. What made it so important for you as a San Diegan to get back here with this group and try to improve on last year?
Yeah, this is where I'm from. So, it's a big opportunity for me to just stay here and play in front of my family. So I think that was one big reason. And also I know the pieces that we have this year, our whole starting defense is returning. So I just knew that we had the pieces to get us to where we wanted to be, which is that Mountain West championship and hopefully the college football playoff. So I knew we were just missing a couple key pieces. And if we can keep the main guys here and kind of get rid of the cancers on the team, then, I feel like we are destined for great things.
So, it's funny you mentioned the cancers there, and I have to probably, talk about just making sure everyone's pulling on that same rope.
Yeah.
How important is that for success of any team sport?
Yeah, that's the most important thing. I would say everybody's got to buy into the same cause. And if you got people that aren't really fully 100% bought in, you can't have those people on the team. You got to have people that are willing to go out there and fight for your brother. Because in my opinion, the worst thing you can do on the football field is let your teammate down. So just got to have guys all clicking on the same cylinder and have everybody buy in. You've
talked about Sean Lewis and playing for him. I think you were asked one day during spring practice, what's changed with Sean from year one to year two? You're like, no, actually, one of the reasons why I'm back is he's the same person he was from day one that he is now 365 days later. What's your relationship like with Coach Lewis and the staff, and how has that evolved over the last year?
Yeah, it's great. He's the same guy every day, and that's why I appreciate him. I meet with him every week just to talk about the team with our leadership council and talk about what we can do better as players and what he can do better as a coach, and just kind of bounce ideas off of each other. And I feel like that's what really keeps that healthy relationship going between the team and that family aspect.
When you were making your decision, obviously, you have to make it the best decision for yourself. But did you talk to any players that, did end up returning along with you about, returning and what you guys could accomplish this season?
Yeah, 100%. As some people know, Chris Johnson and Donnel are my roommates. So we definitely talked about that a lot. And that was a big thing for us. If we can all stay together. And we knew that it started with us because if we stayed, then, that would make other people want to stay as well. So we knew we were a big part in that, and we knew we had a lot of unfinished business, and what better place to do it than San Diego.
No doubt about it. San Diego State edge rusher Trey White, 12.5 sacks last year, back with us here. Jon Jim, San Diego Sports 760. I think Sean said earlier this spring, listen, the defense has been ahead of the offense. I mean, with all these returning parts, but what have you seen from the offense, specifically these new veteran quarterbacks with Jaden Donnel coming in and Bert Emanuel Jr.? What have the quarterbacks look like throughout spring?
Yeah, they're extremely athletic for sure. I don't get outran by quarterbacks too much, but, Bert's one of those guys who can, outrun the fastest DB on a team. And Jaden has that athletic ability, and they're big guys too. So, they can take a hit. And I just like their competitive nature that they bring. And, they're ready to fight for us. And, I'm just really excited to have those guys on our team instead of playing against them.
Well, what's one thing that, looking at last year that you want to improve on to hope to come into this season for your football team?
I would just say our connection. That was the biggest thing. I feel like we weren't really connected as a team. And I feel like now with these, we're doing a lot of non-football meetings, trying to get to know each other more personally. And I feel like that's really helped create that bond and camaraderie that we have. And the locker room is great. It's a great time. And just to get to know each other more on a deeper level instead of just surface level.
How much pride is there in being a San Diego State football player and being out of the county? You're not the only one, obviously, from the county. There's a lot of players from Southern California. What is that experience like for you, having the opportunity to play for a hometown team?
Yeah, that's definitely huge. And there's no surprise why guys come back and end up playing for San Diego State who venture off at first, but they always find their way back home. And I feel like that's a big part for us. All of our families here, you get to play in front of our family, but also represent our hometown that we grew up playing in. And, it's just a blessing to be playing here and representing our hometown school.
what do you feel like you unlocked last year being at the edge? Like for your game and all the sacks that you piled up, what do you feel like you've unlocked here?
I feel like the biggest thing I unlocked was my confidence. Just being able to get reps and be out there and actually win reps. That was a really big boost for my confidence. And that played a big role in me. I feel like that's what really got me to the top, is just me being confident in my abilities and knowing that I can do this and I can compete at this level and beyond.
With Trey White right now, San Diego State edge rusher, what does the rest of the defensive line look like right now, the opposite side of you? How do you feel about the group overall?
Yeah, I feel really good about the group. Our edge room, we're all in a tight competition with Ryan Henderson, Brady Nasser, and new transfer Niles King.
Yeah.
So I feel like we're all in a good spot, as well as the interior. We got Christian Clay, we got Sam Benjamin, Malachi Fanal. Just a lot of great guys that I'm excited to rush the quarterback along with. And, I can't wait to see what we do this year.
What can you tell us about Niles? Because he came with a lot of acclaim from where he was previously, now joining you guys at San Diego State at FBS. What type of teammate has he been? What are his abilities like?
Yeah, I feel like he's a great player for us. And he's a guy that just puts his head down and works. And he shows up every day trying to learn. Mm-hmm. And that's what I appreciate about him most. He's not the most outspoken guy, but, you can trust him when he's on that field. So I definitely trust him when I'm out there.
So you're not golfing today. I know you're not a golfer, but for events like this, for AztecLink and NIL specifically, being a player, how important is it to have a initiative like AztecLink and NIL to support the student athletes?
Yeah, it's definitely very important. We got to retain the talent that's in San Diego and all the new transfers coming in as well. And I feel like aside from AztecLink, just being able to get all the fans and the people who support us out here, it's just great to have conversations. I'm on hole 18 over there. So it's just great to have some conversation with those guys and girls over there to try to get to know them a little more, where they're from, their background, and those are the people who support us. So, we owe it to them to pack the stands. So,
are you doing anything special on hole 18 or just hanging out?
A little bit of heckling going on, a little bit of conversations, all the good stuff. Just trying to have a good time out there.
Make it the heckling hole.
The heckling hole. Yeah. That's what it is. The last hole, heckling hole.
There we go.
With Trey White, do you write down a sack number? Did you do that a year ago? Like, you put a number on a piece of paper and fold it up and look back at it at the end of the year?
I have it on my phone.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Is it in the 3 digits?
No, just 10 sacks. This was from last year.
Last year you said 10 sacks.
Oh, got it.
You got there like at the halfway point last year.
Yeah, I was pretty close to that. But I think this year I'm going to try to do the same thing with the goals, but I don't think I'm going to be focused on the sacks as much. I feel like I'm just going to be focusing on just getting to where we need to be as a team and getting to that championship, and the sacks and plays will come.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Trey, great to see you. We appreciate you taking time for us. I know Aztec fans are really excited to have you and a lot of these defensive players back. A lot of the players on the offense as well will be back in 2025, but we'll see you tomorrow. You're going to be at the showcase. You're going to be on one of these teams, right?
Oh, yeah, I'll be there. Boat Crew 6, Zone 6.
Okay, Boat Crew 6.
All right.
And the winner of that competition tomorrow is getting like the steak dinner.
Steaks, and everybody else gets hot dogs.
All right, so you got to win this.
So I'm eating steaks.
You're eating steaks
Yeah.
tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm eating steaks tomorrow. Yeah.
All right, so
No question.
No
about
question.
It.
Get to
exactly.
Snapdragon Stadium. Free tickets are available. Go Aztecs.com. Autographs from players like Trey White
and many more.
others, and many more. Again, tomorrow at Snapdragon. Gates open at noon. It's from 1 to 3, and free tickets are available at GoAztecs.com. Thank you, Trey.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you so much.
Thanks, man.
All right,
Appreciate
Trey
it.
White, San Diego State edge rusher. We're going to take a timeout. On the other side, much more from Riverwalk, where the sun is out.
Yes.
We're going to be joined by Sean Lewis, Trey's head coach, coming up in the 3 o'clock hour. Also coming up, our Padres insider, Kevin Acee, will join us at 4 p.m. as the Padres get ready for the Astros tonight down in Houston at 5:10. We are here until 6 p.m. A lot to get to. This is Jon Jim. Stay with us on San Diego Sports 760.
All right, this update's brought to you by the San Diego Seals, Padres, and Astros. Game 1 of a 3-game series tonight at Petco Park in Houston. My bad. 5:10 first pitch. There is some breaking news. Jason Hayward, right, John, has been scratched from tonight's lineup with left knee soreness. New lineup reads as such: Fernando Tatis Jr., Luis Arraez, Manny Machado, Xander Bogaerts, Gavin Sheets, and that is Oscar Gonzalez in left field, Jose Iglesias at second, Tyler Wade in center, and Martin Maldonado behind the plate. And tomorrow night, San Diego FC takes on Charlotte on the road. 4 p.m. is when our pregame coverage starts. 4:30 is when kickoff happens. You can listen to that game right here on your home of SDFC, San Diego Sports 760. Playoffs are on the line, and the San Diego Seals need you in the stands. It's Fan Appreciation Night tonight, April 18th. At 7:30 p.m., first 4,000 fans get a free Seals Beach Tote. $5 beers all night. Don't miss it. Tickets at sealslax.com.
It's time for the getting you all set for that drive home. Let's just start the show. Here's Jon and Jim.
All right, San Diego and Southern California, what's going on? This is hour 2 of Jon and Jim. We are live this afternoon from Riverwalk in Mission Valley, the 2025 AztecLink Golf Golf Tournament. We've been joined by JD Wicker, San Diego State's Athletic Director, and Trey White, the outstanding edge rusher for the Aztecs. And still to come, Sean Lewis later this hour, J.R. Tolver, Aztec for life as well, in about 15 minutes. Kevin Acee will join us at 4 p.m. as we get you ready for the Padres and the Astros as well. So we'll be here until 6 p.m. Jim just touched on the fact that the Padres getting ready to open this road trip have already had a lineup change as Jason Hayward has been scratched due to left knee soreness. And man, those outfield injuries have really piled up for the Padres, with Merrill on the IL and Brenden Lockridge on the IL, both with hamstrings. And now Hayward, we have no idea the extent of what he's dealing with. But Jason Hayward, who's been in there against right-handed pitching, is out tonight. Oscar Gonzalez has been good in limited spots this year. He'll fill in here with Jason Hayward, again, unavailable, at least to start here tonight, for Mike Schild.
Man, the depth of this team is really going to be tested.
Been tested, yeah.
Really going to be tested. And that puts more pressure, I guess, so to say, on like Tatis and Manny and Luis Arraez and Xander Bogaerts. Like, those guys got to be good, because if they have 0 for nights, and you're asking guys like Oscar Gonzalez and Gavin Sheets, who's been phenomenal this year, by the way, it's, Connor Joe, Tyler Wade, those guys to come through. That was the biggest question mark coming into this season. And even after their great start, it's still a question mark. The depth of this team. I know Schulte is very high on the depth. And so far it's been so good, but you can only withstand like these injuries for so long, I feel like.
Yeah, I agree with that completely. I really do. I mean, it's not something you're going to want to deal with for a long period of time. And hopefully with someone like Merrill, it's not, although we know it's the next 6 games, if not longer. And Hayward, maybe it's a day or maybe it's longer. I mean, a lot of this stuff we had thought would be minor. I mean, all the way back to Darvish. Hey, he's not going to throw his bullpen. And now you're talking about months,
2 months.
Potentially that he's going to be out. And then Merrill, it's a hamstring, but he stayed in a game, and it's day to day, and he goes on the IL. Lockridge, they avoided the worst case. He goes on the IL. Jay Cronenworth, cramps. He's out for weeks, if not months.
Broken rib.
So, yeah, these are real injuries to important pieces. Not as much with Lockridge, but yes, because of your depth. That does matter, not having a player like Brenden Lockridge. So, to this point, they've dealt with it. But you multiply this at all, and you add another piece or two to it. You're right. You're not going to be able to play at that clip. It's hard enough to play at this clip, but they add to this, it's going to get harder.
I would, if this turns into anything with Jason Hayward, I mean, I know that David Peralta is not doing anything right now.
Literally, right?
Like,
he's
literally
available.
nothing. He's available.
Yep.
He was a great fill-in last year when Tatis was out with his stress reaction in his leg.
That's true.
I mean, Tirso, is he going to be a guy that maybe gets a shot here? Okay, but if not, I know they just traded for Bryce Johnson for insurance there. They're just going to have to weather the storm. They're going to have guys step up. They're going to have Tatis play at an MVP level like he is at right now. And if they do that, if Tatis and Arraez and Manny and Xander, right, if those guys carry the load here and put the team on their back, then they can withstand these injuries. But if you're going to have slumps from some of these guys that I just mentioned, that's going to be tough.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. It's not about it being like, oh, Jason Hayward's out. Man, you've lost the game. That's not even the point. The point is you can only backfill so much over the course of any one time. Like, you can't be down 3 outfielders at one time, which is what they're down theoretically tonight with Merrill, Lockridge on the IL, and now Hayward, and feel great about that. That's maybe speaks to them making that move yesterday, that minor move to bring back someone like Bryce Johnson. Again, the Hayward thing might be completely nothing, and maybe he's back in the starting lineup tomorrow, or like we just touched on, maybe it's something more than that. And he's also not a young player. I mean, the one thing about this team, you look at Darvish, you look at a Hayward, there's others in there as well. They got a lot of players that are in their 30s. This is a veteran group. Yes, there's young core pieces like Tatis and Merrill, but there's also veteran pieces on this team like Machado and Bogarts and others. So how do you handle the rigors of 162 when your team is, not one of the younger teams, truthfully, in Major League Baseball?
And a baseball season is never, like we've said, a through straight line.
No, it's never.
There are always going to be things that you have to navigate, especially injuries. And it's great that they have continued to win early on. So we're not continuously harping on the fact that Jake Cronenworth could be out for a long period of time, that Yu Darvish has been out for a long period of time, that Jackson Merrill could be out for another couple weeks because of that hamstring injury, that, other guys are kind of getting nicked and bruised here early on in the season. We're not really harping on that and talking about that too much because they're 15-4.
Right.
So, that's great. And if they don't continue to win games and they're losing games, and the guys that are stepping into these roles now for these injured players aren't producing, and guess what? The depth of the team will be something that will be an issue, like we talked about in the offseason.
It is kind of crazy how they maybe, had the luck of the draw in getting Tyler Wade back via waivers. I mean, you never know when a player goes on waivers.
Didn't think I would be saying that.
I know, it's crazy. And I don't think anyone thought, oh, man, he's going to be immediately picked up. But he wasn't, and you never know what the other 29 teams are going to do.
Yeah.
And now they've kind of needed him, when you think about it, because of his positional versatility. And he's starting back-to-back games in center field because you're down 2 center fielders 3 weeks into the season. I mean, Hayward's played center field, but now he's out with left knee soreness. And again, Hayward's in his mid to late 30s at this point. You're not going to count on him to play center field every single day. So they've kind of benefited from getting Tyler Wade back in the organization here in 2025. And I've said this before, I think he's going to stick. I really do. As moves happen, I'd be surprised because of the way Mike Schultz speaks on him. I'd be surprised if he wasn't with this team if he stays healthy this year. I just think he's going to stay up.
I agree with you. And the great thing is to know, if they can weather this storm, which I believe that they can. I'm not saying that they can't. It's not like they just lost Manny and Tatis along with Merrill and Cronenworth.
Right.
Knock on wood. I believe they can withstand these injuries. And it's just going to make them a better team on the other side, because you're going to have guys that, if the main guys were healthy, maybe would not be getting as much, play as they are getting right now. And so they're getting the time and getting into a groove and understanding their roles. And they're not just getting 2 or 3 at-bats a week. They're getting 10 to 15 at-bats a week. Right. And if they can continue to win and be led by the pitching staff, be led by the bullpen, that's just going to make them a better team. JD's third in our chat makes a good point. Like Dodgers last year, yeah, they only won 98 games, but they dealt with a lot of injuries last year. And guess what? They were better for it on the other side, and they ended up winning World Series.
Sure, they even dealt with them in the postseason, truthfully.
They did.
And they were without
Freeman.
A lot of starting pitching as well in the postseason. They had bullpen days even against the Padres, and it ultimately worked out for them. Homecoming of sorts for a couple of these Padres heading back to Houston. Martin Maldonado included, won a World Series in 2022, spent 6 seasons with the Astros.
Do you think they'll have a video package for him?
Honestly, they might.
Will he cry
they
like
probably
Luka
would have for Jason Hayward if not for him being scratched. No, I don't think he's going to cry like Luka. Yuli Gurriel returning to Houston tomorrow, by the way, is Josh Hader bobblehead night against the Padres.
That's an interesting night to choose a Josh Hader bobblehead night for.
Against the Padres. It's actually a Josh Hader fireman bobblehead. It's presented, of course, by Texas Bay Credit Union.
Does the bobblehead throw more than 3 outs?
Yeah, it's like, stop using me. Like, you can't, after 3 outs, you have to wait 24 hours or 48 hours to use again the bobblehead.
You can't tax him after he gets 3 outs. He's done. He is donezo, and that's it.
I kind of had forgotten he was in Houston, truthfully. Like, I you know what? When he was here, we talked about him so much, and now that he's gone, we talk about him none at all because Robert Suarez has been so good.
Yeah.
And you just kind of move on.
We know that closer is one of the easiest positions to, like, fill as far as place goes, because, like, in the future, if Robert Suarez is gone, guess what? Jeremiah Estrada, step up. You're another new closer, right? So, and AJ has been great with finding closers. Yeah, I agree with you. I really haven't thought much about Josh Hader. I know his comments from 2 years ago really rubbed a lot of people the wrong way, me included. You're
talking about in September was like, hey, how come you're not available in a pennant race? It's like, what pennant race? Honestly, dude, I kind of respect him for saying it. He was right.
I know he
said every day in the middle of September when they had a 0.1% chance, even though they'd won like 6 of 8.
Yeah,
like he's like, what pennant race?
But
I know you can't.
He was
say
right.
It.
You can't say that, my guy.
No, you're right.
It's the same thing with Juan Soto being like, "Yeah, we quit."
Yeah, we didn't really care about the Seattle series.
Yeah, we just quit.
We went there prepared to roll over. Like wait, what? Yeah, you can't say that out loud.
No, you can say it behind closed doors, but not publicly.
Hader is a very unlikable player, even when he's on your team.
Agreed.
Like, he's not overly likable, even when he's yours. You put up with it all because his numbers historically are awesome.
Amazing, yeah.
But again, the Hader rules, you can't use it back-to-back days or for more than 3 out saves. We talked about it with Bob Melvin in the postseason of 2022.
Yeah,
there's drama.
Yeah, and I love the fact last year, like, was it the first game of the season where Schulte put out Robert Suarez for a 4 out?
I think it might have been, yeah.
And that was just a, to me, clear shot across the bow of, yeah, we're not dealing with that BS from guys like Josh Hader anymore. Everybody's going to buy in. Everybody's going to be a team player. It's about the we, not the me. And this is proving it right here.
Yeah, that was to start 2024.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. On the other side, we continue to get you ready for Padres and Astros. Kevin Acee at 4 p.m. But J.R. Tolver, friend of the show, Aztec for life, with AztecLink right now, and we're at Riverwalk for this golf tournament. He'll join us on the other side with more on today's event. Sean Lewis, head coach of the Aztecs, at 3:45. Great couple of hours lined up for Aztec fans and Padres fans. We are here at Riverwalk until 6 p.m. J.R. Tolver, Aztec for life, joins us on the other side right here on Jon and Jim. All right, hey guys, it is Jon and Jim again for the all-new Jamul Casino Resort, the Players Place. We've been reminding you about Monday Night Live out there, smashing Easter eggs this month. You can join them every Monday in April for a chance to win big. 10 winners every hour, 7, 8, 9 p.m. Your odds are better than ever. You can earn entries all month by playing and get 2 times the entries on Wednesdays with at least $500 cash for all winners and a chance to win up to $25,000 cash. It's a promotion you're not going to want to miss.
John, Easter is this Sunday, and
That's right.
if you do not have any plans for Easter, head on down to Jamul Casino from 10:30 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. Celebrate Easter with a delicious brunch at Prime Cut featuring lobster tails and hand-carved prime rib. You can gather the family and enjoy a feast fit for the occasion. Make sure to make your reservation today.
Endless dining 5 nights a week at Jamul. It's gotten better at Tony Gwynn's. They've gone over the top. Crab, shrimp, dynamite salmon, and more. Plus, don't miss the carving station for those who like a little turf with their surf. The all-new Jamul Casino Resort, the Players Place. right, Jon and Jim, San Diego Sports 760. We're at Riverwalk, and this is a great afternoon. The sun is out. It is the AztecLink Coryell Classic Golf Tournament. Jon and Jim with you until 6 p.m. It is our pleasure to be joined by a friend of the show, Aztec for Life, who has done an amazing job with AztecLink over the years. JR Tolver back with us right now. Jon and Jim, first of all, JR, it's amazing to see you. We're talking some football. We're talking about AztecLink, and thanks for hopping on, man.
This is the first time we've hung out outside of a football venue, right?
It is, yeah.
We're at a golf course here talking football. This is in our 8-year illustrious relationship.
Yes.
This is the first time we've hung out outside of football.
Tell us about an event like this for AztecLink in terms of what it means. I mean, I feel as if you guys have done a terrific job in terms of retaining some of the pieces that were so critical last year and bringing them back for 2025. We just had Trey White on. He talked about the importance of AztecLink. But can you speak to what you guys have done behind the scenes to try to put San Diego State football in a position to be successful in 2025 and beyond?
You know, a couple of years ago, Coach Brady Hoke reached out to me and asked me if I would help. He said, hey, there's this NIL stuff is happening. There's really no rules. What we're seeing is across the country, fans and boosters and alumni, they're starting to get involved through collectives. And would you be interested in helping us create a collective so that we don't fall behind kind of in this new age era? So kudos for Brady for being able to have kind of the vision and the foresight to say, man, we kind of really don't know what this is, but based off of the way everything is going, we feel like this collective piece is going to be important. And, you know, for me, somebody who's been in this community since I was 12 years old, going to San Diego State, being inspired by guys like Marshall Faulk and Darnay Scott and Akeem, Billy Blanton, just seeing like what this program is when it's good and the players are good and the fans are behind it. You know, I kind of jumped at the opportunity to come in and benefit the program off the field in a way that I benefited the program on the field when I was here. So it was important to me. It was important to me to jump in and help out based off of everything that was going on across the country. And man, we got lucky. We got some great volunteers. You know, Mike Coleman has just been phenomenal helping us put the collective together. Bill Hammett, who has run the Coryell Classic Golf Tournament, him and Bo Trickey, and a lot of guys from, you know, the old AFL Aztec football legacy. We've kind of transferred that over, that passion for the golf tournament over where it's needed, which is now to the collective. And a lot of volunteers, a lot of people have worked their butt off to make sure that San Diego State can compete off the field through the collective with NIL. You know, you guys had a conversation with Trey White.
Yeah.
Trey White probably would not still be here if the collective hadn't, been sprung up and gotten a lot of support from fans and businesses across the county. So, yeah, man, it's a really exciting piece to be a part of and to see it grow as the way that it has with all of the people that are passionate and volunteer-based that's brought it to life.
Yeah, and speaking of Trey White, you know, one of the biggest things in NIL, like the taglines is, you know, so help support us so we can retain our players.
Yeah.
And this past offseason, seeing the amount of players that returned from last year's team, very important players, by the way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, how proud are you of that and AztecLink being a big part of that?
Yeah, I mean, listen, man, if you really think about it, the 5 or 6 guys who came back this year could have left.
Yeah.
The season did not turn out the way that anybody in this community wanted it to turn out. Those guys played extremely well on the field, and they had people that wanted them to take their talents to another school. And the fact that they decided to stay here and stick around despite not getting the results that they wanted to on the field, despite potentially not getting as much money to stay here and play for San Diego State, it's encouraging. And I think that that's one of those things that it's a team effort. Like the community, I can't say it loud enough. Like, if you want to have an impact on this program, do it through AztecLink. Show up at AztecLink, be a volunteer, make a donation, come to an event, just be a part of the ecosystem. And what will naturally happen is you will then have a tangible impact on the program And I think Trey White, Chris Johnson, these are guys that are testament to that energy and that effort.
No doubt about it. Jared Tolver is with us, the Aztec for Life. If you want to support, you can do so with this live auction that's going on right now. You don't have to be here to participate in a live auction. And by the way, it's not just San Diego State football items that are available. We talked about a Fernando Tatis Jr. authenticated signed jersey that's available. If you want to participate in the live auction, just go find AztecLink right now on social media at AztecLink, and you'll get the link to potentially participate and win here. This live auction is closing tonight at 7:30, but there's some amazing items in here. So J.R. Tolver is with us right now. For a lot of fans of college athletics, they still feel as if it is a bit of a Wild West. You see what's playing out nationally, some of the quarterbacks that are going from one spot to another, millions of dollars, right, on the line. Yeah, I mean, where do we go from here, where NIL has been so critical and revenue sharing is coming down the pipeline? Like, what's it like from your seat to watch how this is all played out?
It's interesting. I think there's a lot of noise. I think, when it comes to the media, bad news and all that stuff always sells better and attracts more attention. But the reality is you have 18 to 22, 23-year-old young men who are transitioning from boys to men. They're using college to do so. They're using the sport to do so. And that's the part that I think gets lost in a lot of this NIL conversation. At the end of the day, you have 18-year-old kids that are doing what they can through college and through sport to become young men. They're trying to get a degree, put themselves in a better position for when they grow up, put their families in a better position. NIL is now just an extra piece of the puzzle. Now you have this opportunity to make some money along the way. And I think the majority of NIL conversations, if you're really thinking about how it affects college students, it's positive. If I was a college student, I had an opportunity to make an extra $2,500 a month while I was in college.
Yeah.
Man, what a great opportunity that would be. You can start your money journey earlier, start learning about money, start understanding what it means to be responsible with money. Those are all really, really, really good things. I think some of the bigger headlines have diminished that, have taken over what I think NIL has done for most college students, which is it gives them an opportunity to have a better college experience. We played Wyoming when I was a senior in college. And if my parents didn't have the money to fly to Wyoming and I was making NIL money, I could make sure that my parents and my grandparents or whoever got an opportunity to come watch me play. So that's how I view NIL. It's a really cool way for student athletes to enhance their college experience.
There is, and that's a great way to put all of that for sure. But there are still things about the transfer portal that have definitely made college athletics feel like the wild, wild west.
For sure.
If it, for up to J.R. Tolver, right? You're in charge. All right. How do you change and fix that and make it a better system for all?
So if I was in charge, this is what I would do. From a school standpoint, when you leave high school and you go to college, first and foremost, it has to be about getting your degree.
Yeah.
And to me, if you're going to make name, image, and likeness money from the school, whether it's through rev share or from fans and brands and donors, then there should be some sort of commitment there, right? So in my perfect world, you would take a student athlete and you would say, hey, listen, if you graduate from this university, you can bank some NIL money. And then by the time you graduate, that's one of your graduation gifts, so to speak. That's how I think I would do it, because I think what we are losing a little bit, especially with the transfer portal, is the value of commitment.
Yeah.
As a true freshman coming into San Diego State, I was awful. So I didn't play.
Yeah. You have an opportunity. Yeah.
I didn't have, I mean, again, I was on the team. I got a chance to get schooling for free and they still fed me, but I sucked. I was terrible. Right. But what that did was it made me stay here and work harder. And then my second year going into it, again, I was a better player, but there were guys in front of me that were better. So I had to play special teams. Yeah. And in my third year, I finally got a chance to prove that I could be a starter. And I became a starter as a sophomore, a junior, and a senior. And I think maybe that's what's missing a little bit is that development piece.
Yeah.
When you come from high school to college, I say it all the time, like going from college to the NFL was nowhere near as big of a jump as going from high school to college.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Because again, you're playing against grown men,
As a
right?
kid,
As a
right.
kid.
Yeah.
So the ability to get developed, to stay in a system and in a program that you can get familiar with, to create impact in a community that you begin to love and the community begins to love you. I think that's the one piece that I would change is if student athletes are going to make money, you can make them commit to being with you for a longer
Multiple
period
years,
of time.
Yeah.
And then the development all the way around happens. And also the loyalty, you know, a lot of things I've heard from fans is it's hard to continue to root when you got a new team every year.
Yeah.
And I think if you can create a way to create some commitment on the student athlete side and maybe tie it to the NIL, I think that would make it a lot better.
What do you think in today's football, 128 catches, 1,785 yards, and 13 touchdowns is worth?
What would it be worth in NIL?
Yeah, it's something. I tell you that right now.
It's a good something.
That's a big dollar figure.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think playing this game is exciting. It changed my life
no doubt.
for the better. And that's what I want for the student athletes. I think that's what ultimately the community wants is the ability to take young men, make them great young men and productive, productive people in society.
AztecLink.com. Again, a live auction going on right now if you want to participate and help raise revenue for San Diego State football, but you can always visit AztecLink.com. Jared Tolver, Aztec for life.
Thanks,
Great
buddy.
to see you.
Yeah, it was a pleasure. Always
Great
a pleasure.
stuff. Sean Lewis in 15 minutes. We're at Riverwalk. Stay with us, Jon and Jim.
All right, this update is brought to you by the San Diego Seals, Padres, and Astros tonight in Houston as the Padres start a 6-game road trip, 5:10 first pitch. Jason Hayward has been scratched from tonight's lineup with left knee soreness. Oscar Gonzalez is out there for the Padres in left. Kyle Hart will be on the mound tonight for the Padres. And tomorrow night, San Diego FC takes on Charlotte on the road. 4:30 kickoff time. 4 p.m. is when our pregame coverage starts right here on your home of SDFC, San Diego Sports 760. Playoffs are on the line, John, and the San Diego Seals need you in the stands. It's Fan Appreciation Night tonight, 7:30 p.m. First 4,000 fans get a free Seals beach tote. $5 beers all night long. You do not want to miss it. Tickets at sealslax.com.
All right, AM radio keeps vital voices accessible. Congress can secure its future, but we need your help. You can text AM to 52886 now to support keeping AM radio in cars. Tell your member of Congress to pass legislation now and keep AM radio in cars. Standard message and data rates apply. We'll have Sean Lewis with us, Aztecs head coach, at 3:45. Kevin Acee will join us just a couple of minutes after 4 p.m. as the Padres get ready for the Astros coming up tonight at 5:10. Again, we are at Riverwalk. This is the 2025 AztecLink Coryell Classic Golf Tournament. If you want to bid on the live auction, you can do so right now. Just find AztecLink online at azteclink.com.
Did you are you going to bid on anything?
I don't know, because I think the live auction closes at 7:30. So what's the math on that? We're on the air until 6, and then what do? I bid from here, and then I drive home, and then I see if I won.
Or you just stay?
Yeah, but the whole
Aren't you
6-year-old at home factor that I have to put to bed and stuff.
Okay. What
And he
about-
goes to sleep at 7.
Is Kristen not home?
She is, but that doesn't change the conversation.
Well, that's true.
You'll
yeah.
see.
Well, I was going to go with, if you do bid on anything.
I'm bidding on, if I'm bidding on anything, and this is where it applies to our Padres fans in the audience right now.
Okay.
I guess the best way to point you there, if you're a Padre fan, is to go to X right now and find AztecLink, and there's a direct link to this live auction. There's a Padres memorabilia package that includes an autographed and authenticated Fernando Tatis Jr. jersey. So you get a signed Tatis jersey, and you get a signed Joe Musgrove baseball in a display case. The current bid for this, Jim, is $695. My guess is a signed Tatis. Is this an authentic jersey?
That looks like an authentic, John.
So a signed authentic Tatis jersey, my guess is one day will be worth truly thousands of dollars.
So,
I don't know how many.
So that's great.
Okay, so
And
that's my item.
Yeah, I would love all that stuff.
Right.
Now, for people like me who that are broke,
Right.
What are some things that I could potentially afford, John?
Well, you could afford maybe the Callaway Golf Elite 3-wood that's currently being bid on at $300.
Okay.
You can afford a family portrait photography session that's currently at a $270 bid.
Okay. What else we got there? What else we got?
We have a Goals Hockey Club basket. We love the Goals. You can hear them, of course, on iHeartRadio. They've got a package going on right now for less than $100.
Oh, okay. That's what I'm talking about.
So, there's a lot of stuff. I mean, you get the Lamont Butler shot or a football signed by Donnel Pumphrey.
Give me anything golf related.
Anything golf related in addition to this Callaway driver.
Is a driver a 3-wood?
I don't. Isn't that the same thing?
No, it's not.
Okay. Well, here's a driver for $300.
Ooh, a Callaway. Okay.
And then again, you got the AztecLink Nike Air Jordan shoes. Current bid's $400 for these Nike Air Jordan shoes. So there's some things. There's some things. You can golf with Sean Lewis if you want.
Okay.
You can bid on that.
I like that as well.
For under $1,000, you think you'd beat him?
I don't know.
You could bet him. Be like, listen, you bid $1,000, golf with him. Be like, I'll bet you $1,000 I'm better than you, and then you get your $1,000 back.
Oh, 7-night stay at a Maui condo,
or a 5-night stay in Cabo.
Aaron would love that.
Oh, she would absolutely love that.
She'd be like, "How much did you spend? Don't worry about it, honey.
Don't worry about it. We're going.
We're going."
So, AztecLink on X, you can find the direct link to this live auction going on right now, benefiting AztecLink. We'll have Sean Lewis with us in 5, 6, 7 minutes. Aztecs head coach, getting ready for year 2 on the Mesa. I don't believe Sean is golfing today. He may be golfing today.
No,
he must be a golfer because you can bid on the opportunity to golf with him.
We are.
Do you think Sean Lewis is a good golfer?
Probably.
I mean, he's got the size. Like he looks like someone that could drive the ball far.
Also, by the way, you're hyping me up way too much.
I tell everyone that I run
Like-
into like Jim is like an amazing golfer. I'm
No.
like Jim is a.
no.
I tell people you shot 68 on the South course of Torrey.
You are hyping me up like way too much.
So are you not good at golf? I see your swing and it looks really good.
like? Are we comparing myself to you
Like today, Tiger.
to date?
Today, Tiger, I feel like you could hang within like 6 strokes.
No, even Tiger would still beat me even with a torn Achilles. Dude.
Okay, compared to me, you're better.
Compared to me, I'm like Rory McIlroy.
No, compared to me, you're like Rory McIlroy.
That's what I meant.
You just said compared to me.
Compared to you. Sorry, yeah,
you're like Rory.
compared to
But
you.
I'm saying compared to people out here today, like the average golfer, like Aztec alums and some football players, and like I see like some basketball staff members out there. Like, can you hold your own?
I can hold my own. Yeah.
I think I see Sean Lewis out there right now. Is that
Tallest-
Sean right there?
Oh yeah, the bald
Right in front
head,
of us?
tallest guy.
Is he going to make it from that golf cart to our
Probably not.
show in the next 6
I
minutes?
see him on the phone right now.
Maybe he's got a golf cart.
He's picking up a jacket, a really nice red Letterman
Yeah.
jacket, by the
No,
way.
he might make it back. He's got a golf cart.
We'll see. Maybe he's on his way over here.
That's what I'm saying. So, okay, but you're saying that
You're hyping.
I've overhyped your golf.
100%. So you can't. Keep
I do it all the
telling
time.
Everybody here that Jim's an amazing golfer.
Why? I can say it because nobody knows you're not going to be out there.
But I just
You don't like it.
I don't like it. I do want to actually go hit some golf balls.
Should I tell
should.
people? Well, I used to tell people you're an amazing basketball player. And they're like, how's that possible?
I hate you.
Oh, my gosh.
See, golf, you can be any size. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's basically true, right?
Yeah.
Kind of like baseball.
Basketball, you look at me, you're like,
Yeah, like, no way.
stop.
Yeah, there's no way.
I'm like, what are you talking about?
All right, so Sean Lewis is making his way over. He's going to join us in 5 or so minutes. Kevin Acee will join us at 4 p.m. here today. We're at Riverwalk. It's turned out to be a pretty nice day, Jim. It was rainy earlier. The sun is
I was very worried.
peeked through the clouds. I was worried. We got jackets.
I know.
We're prepared like it's winter time. But by the way, tomorrow, the Aztec Fast Showcase at Snapdragon Stadium. I'll be out there. You can join us. Free tickets at goaztecs.com. Gates will open at noon. Autographs, activities for families. I think my wife and Jones will be out there tomorrow. So get to Snapdragon tomorrow for the Aztec Fast Showcase. Again, that will get underway around 1, but gates will open at noon tomorrow for that. We'll take a timeout. Sean Lewis is going to join us, we believe, on the other side. We're at the AztecLink Golf Classic Golf Tournament here at Riverwalk. We'll catch up with Kevin Acee a few minutes after 4 p.m. Great guests lined up, and we still have tickets to give away for Sesame Place coming up on the show today as well. So
must
we've
be
got
nice.
a 4-pack of tickets to Sesame Place that we'll give away. Sean Lewis is going to join us coming up. Kevin Acee, as well as the Padres, get ready for the Astros. Don't go anywhere. This is Jon and Jim. All right, Jon and Jim, San Diego Sports 760. We are at Riverwalk. It is the AztecLink Coryell Classic Golf Tournament. We're with the head coach of the Aztecs joining us now. Sean Lewis back with us here on Jon and Jim. Coach, great to see you. Thanks for having us.
Good to see you guys.
All right, we were just asking you off air. We had kind of theorized that you look like you'd be good at golf. Like you have the size to drive a golf ball, right? But you bring up a really good point. As a head football coach, there's probably not a ton of days you're like, you know what, let me just burn through 6 hours and get in a round of 18.
Yeah, a little tough.
Yeah.
I think the one competitive advantage I have on the home front with that is that my little guy likes to play.
Okay.
Right. I was kind of telling Kurt the story of the origin of my son's name
Oh,
that was
Rory,
inspired by Rory McIlroy.
How cool is
And
that?
So
you had a good weekend.
I had a great weekend. I mean, it was pretty cool. It was my birthday. We had an unbelievable coaches
Amazing.
clinic. We had an unbelievable scrimmage. And then I told my family the week prior, I was like, hey, like all daddy wants is to be able to hang on the couch and watch the Masters.
Yes,
like let's
amazing.
and for obviously all that to play out the way that it did. And then for my son's Rory is again inspired by Rory McIlroy a little bit.
Cool.
So I get to bring him out on the course and we could probably steal 9.
Yeah.
So then that way it's like,
Yeah.
all right, hey, like father-son time, right?
Love it.
And
Cool.
you're not just telling wifey, hey, like,
Right, yeah.
see ya.
Yeah.
I'm bringing our kid out with us, so
Correct.
that's the excuse there for why I get to go out on the course. We are burying the lead here.
Which is this
The Letterman jacket
right?
that you're
That's
wearing.
pretty sharp, huh?
I mean, that is
Absolutely.
sick, dude.
Says Coach Lewis on it. By the way,
Sounds
for
like the Velvet, huh?
Aztec fans, you can
Yeah.
pick these up if you become a member of the Link
Become a
619
member.
campaign, right?
Absolutely, right? Become a member of the Link the 619 campaign. This is the varsity jacket that you get to a part of that membership. And
Really
it is,
cool.
It is clean. It's very, very nice.
It is
clean.
really
I saw
cool.
you out there on the course, and I was like, he's got a red Letterman jacket. What is that? And
Yep.
then pulls up with this. I'm
There
like,
you go.
That's good.
okay.
So what's it like out there today? All these you know, Aztec supporters. You got some football players. You got some other Aztec alums hanging out here today. What's this event like
We
for
do.
you?
It's awesome. It's a great opportunity to interact.
Yeah.
I mean, the energy and the fun is it's electric on each and every single hole. And again, like the opportunity for our guys to be here, to be with the supporters and to be with our fans and to interact and to see some of our super athletic guys
Yeah.
like kind of not look so athletic swinging a golf club is also very, very entertaining. But it's been a lot of fun. It's a great day. It's a great event. And, doing a heck of a job here. It's awesome.
So far, spring game tomorrow.
Yeah.
Practices. How's everything gone so far leading up to tomorrow's event?
Yeah, it's been great. I mean, so we've had 14 practices that have been awesome. Yesterday, we went about 75 live plays. I mean, so we pretty much played a football game, which was awesome and really culminated all the work that we did, which was really, really good. You can really tell the continuity and the connection and the carryover with the defense has been apparent. I mean, Trey has made some of the days really, really tough, right? Because you're not sitting there game planning the guy, and Trey is really, really exceptional in his skills and his crafts. And then, we got some exceptional DBs all across the board. So there's been great back and forth. Quarterbacks have been settling in good. Both Bert and Jaden have done a tremendous job. Lucky Sutton has taken amazing strides forward, and really, really excited for him to really burst down the seam here. And I know obviously him being a hometown hero, there's a lot of people that obviously know the name and have been eager to see him take that next step and eager to see him do that. And then, the O-line's really been gelling really, really well, putting Big Ross back at center. Like his personality, his demeanor, that natural fit, and his understanding the scheme has been great to allow those 5 guys to play connected, play together, and play nasty up front. It's been good.
Can you speak on AztecLink with an event like this going on? We had Trey White on earlier, and he said that it's important what's going on with AztecLink when you try to retain the talent that you had and keep it moving forward.
Yeah.
Can you speak on the importance of an event like today or for our listeners to support the AztecLink?
Yeah, I mean, again, the collective piece and AztecLink and this event, right, is instrumental into that continuity that I speak to, right, and to be able to retain our guys year after year and to have the support of our community and, again, the engagement and the connection between the community that is supporting us and knowing exactly, like, hey, these are the young men that you are fostering these opportunities for. And with how competitive the landscape is, and it's always been, right, like you got to have this piece of the equation, right? You got to be able to sit with a young man and know, okay, hey, like you're extremely valuable to who we are and what we're doing and to our community, and all of San Diego is going to be better when the Aztecs are rocking and rolling on the gridiron, right? And so having this event, having the Link the 619 campaign, and having the AztecLink driving all of this, even with rev share coming, like this isn't going away, right? Like this is a competitive advantage for us to be able to be flexible and to be nimble and to be able to value our guys at a really, really high level and to retain our talent and to keep them home and to continue to grow something special here on the Mesa.
So pretty new quarterback room here
Yeah.
going into this season. Talk about how that's been so far and the new guys that have come in to the program.
Yeah, it's been great. I mean, shoot, you end the season and for a lot of different factors, there's 3 guys that left, and you kind of look up and like, all right, hey, we got 1 scholarship quarterback on the roster.
Yeah.
And, you have that moment of like, all right, but, like always, right? Like you got a little bit of life experience to you. It's like, okay, hey, like, the obstacle's the way. Like we were in the middle of the storm. Let's find our way through it. And, that led us to Jaden Denegal. It led us to Bert Emanuel Jr. And obviously JP was committed to us for a very, very long time. So, JP comes in from the high school ranks, but Jaden and Bert both come in with, a lot of experience from being at the college ranks, have college snaps, and both of them are really, really talented. They're both genetically gifted. I mean, they stand next to me, they're eye to eye with me. They got a presence and a stature about them. Like these guys are not small bodies in any sense, right? They got a lot of physical tools. They're both very, very cerebral. They process, and most importantly, they retain. So the growth that they've had through the spring, I don't think either one of them has made the same mistake twice, which has been awesome, right? You're able to like, hey, go play fast, go play loose, go play free as we're learning, as we're understanding with what we're asking you to do within these calls, with the rules and the tools that we're giving you and all the different problems that the defense is throwing at us. Yeah. And then let's learn from that. And they've taken tremendous strides throughout all of spring, and the growth from, initial installs in winter conditioning all the way through spring ball. Really, really like where we're at, and really like the skill set of both of them. And, they're both going to add tremendous value to our team, and they're both going to contribute in big time ways as we get into the fall.
We're with Sean Lewis. As we know, in college football and college athletics, there are portal windows. We're in a portal window right now.
We are in the thick of it here, boys.
So you probably have to be by your phone all the time just as a head coach, because things happen year round.
He was just on the phone like 2 seconds ago.
On your way over
I was
here.
literally like, I was wrapping a call about a portal matter, a very, very serious portal matter as I was coming in. And I was like, hey, I got a spot here that I need to do that I'm excited to do with my guys. And
we didn't ruin anything, did we?
No, not at all.
Good.
Not at all.
I blame John if that happened, by the way.
But yeah, it is that time of year where you make sure that you have your charger locked and loaded. You have your portable charger ready to go, so that you're able to have all the conversations that need to be had, so that you can fight off the good fights and retain your roster. And then see what's out there and see what other talent you can acquire and bring in, so that we can get this thing to a championship level the way that we're going to.
So is the next week more about retaining, or more about finding the piece or 2 or 3 you may need to add to your 2025 team?
Yes, both.
Both.
Right? all of the above.
Yes.
But most important, right? Like most important, it's retention, right?
Yeah.
Like it has always been and always will be about the identification of the high school talent, recruiting the heck out of them so that we can get them into the program, pouring into them, developing them, and then retaining that talent, because they're the known entities that you've invested with and that are such special young men and such great players, right? So it's about the retention first and foremost, but then also, you got to be able to look up and out. And the same way that, hey, we got the NFL draft coming at the tail end of next week, right? Like you look at all these previous Super Bowl champions, they built their rosters through the draft. And to me, that's how we build our roster through high school recruiting. Yet they're also smart enough to know, hey, like there's this thing called free agency in the NFL that's been going around for a very, very long time. And now we have access to the portal, which in essence is our free agency. So if there's perceived holes that we have or weaknesses that we need to shore up as we go into the season, this is an opportunity to do that. And obviously it's front in mind and front and center, but it's funny, like talking to some former Aztecs that are out here playing, it's like, hey, I started at Cal and then I came in to be an Aztec.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Hey, I started at Arizona State and I came in. So it's always been going on, right? But it's just obviously so top of mind and so aware and so front and center with the information that's being shared now. So, it's exciting times. It's never been a better time to be an Aztec, and excited to, we got kids on campus right now that we're recruiting. We got great guys that are here within our locker room that we're going to retain, and looking forward to the future.
And while we have you, you mentioned the NFL draft, which is next week.
Yeah.
One of the players in the draft who is got a lot of buzz around him, Shedeur Sanders, top draft pick potentially this year. There's been talk that he might drop here and there. There's some question marks on him, but coaching him, what could you say about his prospect to go to the NFL? What type of player you expect him to be?
He's one of the best players I've ever coached. Right, they've been fortunate to be a part of and to be a very small, piece of his journey. And I was always impressed with his football IQ. I was always impressed with his, competitive nature. And shoot, guys, I wouldn't be sitting here visiting and talking with you guys if it wasn't for him. So, to me, he's a high level pick, and there's speculation in the talk, right, from being top 5 to wherever that may play out. But to me, he's a bona fide dude. He should be a top 10 pick, top 5 pick, and whoever gets him is going to be fortunate to have him. And I mean, as he said, he's spot on, right? Like wherever he's gone, he's proven himself to be a winner, and really he's going to do that at the next level as well.
I always go back to that TCU game.
Yeah,
that opener, that was an unbelievable football game.
Yeah, dude processes at a really, really high level, right? I mean, he's very, very cerebral. He's got unbelievable accuracy. He's got unbelievable touch, and excited to see what the future holds for him. And he's earned everything that all these opportunities he's created, and excited to see where that goes.
And with all these, I guess, quote unquote, knocks on him, one of the biggest things that he does is he, like you said, processes, and he had such a high completion percentage.
Yeah.
In college, like that to me is something I feel like will translate very well to the NFL. And for GMs, like, don't you feel like, hey, you should look at this instead of maybe some other things, because this is what translates the most?
Yeah, I mean, right, like this is the time of year where everything gets nitpicked.
Everything,
right?
yeah,
and I mean, shoot, like we're probably just as guilty of it too at the end of the day when it comes to how we evaluate the high school kids, right? But like, you can look at this stuff 6 different ways from Sunday now, right? But like at the end of the day, does he win? Does he value the football? Do his teammates like him? I think those are all unequivocally yeses, right? And so, I mean, I'm excited again to see what his future is, where it holds, where it all goes. And, the team that he ends up with is going to get a good one.
What about game planning last year against Ashton Genty, who's got a really good chance right now to be maybe one of the top?
It wasn't
5,
fun.
6.
Yeah, he's a problem.
What I mean, you've coached a good amount of time. What made Ashton, among all the tailbacks out there, what just made him so truly unique?
I mean, he was so hard to tackle.
Yeah, impossible. Right?
Not to make this
yeah
overly simple, right? But like, it's one of those things where his contact balance, his short area quickness, and his strength and ability to play with different paces and different speeds, there wasn't a whole lot of deficiencies in his game. I remember there was a run that we saw on tape against Wazoo where they ran a little like inside zone, 12 personnel, where like this thing is fitted up. Like you can pause the tape and like it is clinic. We are gap sound. There is an edge. Like we have multiple heads to the ball. Guys, it did not matter.
Oh my gosh,
it did not matter. I think he made 6 or 7 guys miss, on that play in particular, and then had the long speed after all that short area quickness, after that contact balance, after the ability that make you miss ability to then finish right with the top end speed. Like he's different. The good Lord made him different,
no doubt.
And I'm glad I don't have to deal with that problem.
He had his shirt off the other day, and I was like,
"Whoa!"
Like, what? I was like,
"We look different with our shirt off."
I don't look like you.
All right, tell us, Sean, before you go. Tomorrow, Snapdragon Stadium, free tickets at GoAztecs.com. The Aztec Fast Showcase, great opportunities for fans, autographs and more. You'll see these football players doing more than just play football. What are you looking forward to tomorrow afternoon?
Yeah, day of fun, right? Day of interaction with the community and an opportunity to create some memories, especially for our young fans, right? I think so often, you come to the game, you get to see our guys, and there's this invisible barrier that you can't quite get past. And so, I mean, from the time the fans show up, our guys are going to be on the concourse greeting everyone. There's going to be an opportunity for some of our young fans to interact and be a part of the activities, whether that's dodgeball, whether that's catching punts, whether that's playing some games of tic-tac-toe and just competing with our guys and getting to know them. And then at the end of it, we're going to play a little bit of 7-on-7 and let our guys get after it. So there will be some ball involved, but just where we are, again, as this game evolves and the way things are going, like this is a year-round endeavor, right? Like we've had multiple touch points all through winter conditioning. We've obviously got our spring practices as we've concluded, and what's going to culminate with the spring showcase. And then we'll get ripping and running here, right after Memorial Day weekend. And we'll have multiple touch points with our guys again with OTAs. And so the breadth and the depth of the work that we get to do, like want to take this opportunity to keep our guys safe, keep our guys healthy. We've got great work in, and we're going to be in a great spot. We're going to have a whole lot of fun, and then we're going to get back to it, roll the sleeves up after we knock out our finals and do that the right way, as we get rolling this summer and again, get poised for a great 2025.
Sean, we always appreciate it. We will see you tomorrow, Snapdragon Stadium. And for our listeners, go grab free tickets at GoAztecs.com. Sean Lewis, appreciate it, my friend.
Yes, thank you.
All right,
good,
head coach of the Aztecs, Kevin Acee, our Padres insider, on the other side from Houston. We're at Riverwalk. Stay with us, Jon and Jim.
All right, this update is brought to you by the San Diego Seals. Padres and Astros start a 3-game series tonight in Houston. 5:10 first pitch there. Kyle Hart will be on the mound for the Padres. Little news with the Padres. Jason Hayward, he was scratched from tonight's lineup with left knee soreness. Moving on to San Diego FC. They take on Charlotte tomorrow night on the road. 4 p.m. is when our pregame coverage starts. 4:30 is kickoff. Of course, you can listen to the match right here on San Diego Sports 760. Playoffs are on the line, and the San Diego Seals need you in the stands. It's Fan Appreciation Night, Friday, April 18th at 7:30 p.m. First 4,000 fans get a free Seals beach tote. $5 beers all night. Don't miss it. Tickets at sealslax.com.
Getting you all set for that drive home. Let's just start the show. Here's Jon and Jim.
Diego in Southern California, what's going on? This is hour 3 of Jon and Jim, and we are going to... Do we have Kevin with us, Brent? Have you called Kevin? All right, we're going to have Kevin Acee in a moment. Join us here as we're getting ready for the Padres and the Astros. We're at Riverwalk. Maybe Brent is on the phone right now with Kevin. Kevin Acee, our Padres insider, joining us each and every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on Jon and Jim. So let us know, Brent, when we have Kevin, and we can get our listeners ready for tonight. Padres and Astros game 1. We've already talked with Sean Lewis, the head coach of the Aztecs, and JD Wicker, San Diego State's athletic director, Trey White, the outstanding edge rusher. We're out here at Riverwalk for this great AztecLink Golf Classic Golf Tournament. We'll be here until 6 p.m., and it's been a fun couple of hours, and we got a couple of more still in store here today.
Every time you talk to Sean Lewis, you just afterwards are excited.
Yeah, absolutely.
like you can be sleepy or whatever beforehand. You talk to Sean Lewis, you feel energized. It's like a shot of espresso. Instead, it's like 50 shots of espresso after talking to Coach Sean Lewis.
And we'll get more into our conversation coming up in a moment. But right now, let's get to this. All right, Padres Astros an hour out from game 1 of a 3-game series and game 1 of a 6-game road trip. San Diego with the best record in baseball at 15-4 overall. Kevin back with us here on Jon and Jim. And Kevin, we always appreciate it. We saw the lineup, and then we saw the scratch of Jason Hayward. I think it was listed as left knee soreness. Is there an update there, and is it something that he's been dealing with?
It's something he's been dealing with. I don't know anything more than that.
Yeah.
I mean, what is he, 35? It's something. Could be another outfielder that you have to replace. But, he was walking around all right. I'll try to find out more as we go on. But right now, day to day.
And now this, continues to, the depth of this team is going to be tested here, Kevin, especially in the outfield. Yep. You're out Jason Hayward tonight. Jackson Merrill still, rehabbing that hamstring. Brandon Lockridge out there as well. Going forward, the depth of this team is definitely going to be tested.
It is. I don't want to, not that you are, I just don't want to overreact too much to this. I'm glad that we get to see Oscar Gonzalez against a righty. Back in 22, he was playing every day for the Guardians. And, this guy was incredible. And some of the at-bats this season, even the outs, it's like, man, this guy can hit. So give him some regular time. You can let him kind of lean into an emphasis on plate discipline and see what he can do. Now, I'm not trying to downplay it either. Yes, you're absolutely right, especially in the outfield. And you're not going to have Merrill back. Mike Schilt said today, that even the start of the next homestand is probably a little too aggressive. So, the depth is being tested. But, I'm kind of like, all right, Oscar Gonzalez, let's go.
All right, so tonight it's going to be Kyle Hart that makes the start. He's had a couple of really good home outings, right? His debut, and then this last start against Colorado. We know what happened in Chicago where he didn't make it out of the first inning. But what has Ruben Niebla or Mike Schilt said about the first 3 starts that Kyle Hart has made as a Padre?
Well, they've said the obvious, and this is where you go, okay, so, pretty good his first start at home, really good his second start at home, bad in his middle start, which was on the road. But there's also some another difference that in the 2 good starts, in the zone more than 50% of his pitches. And, then that leads to good things, right? Like in the zone with, to get the out, because that's how you get most outs. In the zone to get ahead of guys, because then you can pitch, ball to strike, pitches that look like balls or strike to ball. They look like they're going to be strikes in their balls. You can get them with his sweeper. Obviously, when you only face 8 batters and you walk 4 of them, you're not in the strike zone very much. And that's what Houston did his middle start. So was it that he's at home, or was it that he was just terrible against the Cubs at Wrigley Field, and it happened to be at Wrigley Field? So tonight will be a good test, and it's a good test too, because this is like a team with good hitters that isn't hitting. So, let's see what he does against the Astros or what they do against him if he's in the zone.
And you mentioned going back to Jackson Merrill. I kind of heard you briefly there. So Mike Schultz said that the expectation is maybe the start of next homestand, you said?
No, not the start of next homestand.
Okay.
So maybe the Giants, which is
the middle of next homestand.
3 against the Rays, and then an off day, then 2 against the Giants, an off day. Or maybe the best you could hope for would be the start of the next road trip, which is 2 Fridays from now in Pittsburgh.
Okay, so this is now turned into like a multiple week type of thing.
Is that the type of length of time, Kevin, that would require some type of rehab stint, in your opinion, or not?
Yeah, that's the other thing, is that maybe that's what it would be too, that the reason that it would be stretched out, because now you're getting to where a week and a half without being on a field. Now, 22 years old, beginning of the season, could he do a couple simulated innings? Right. One thing that they were big on last year was a guy getting 15 at bats against minor league pitchers or somebody that you brought in to Petco Park so that everybody could have eyes on Jackson and he could get that. That could be what they do instead. But I think that, yes, now you're talking about going to Elsinore for a day or 2 before he comes back. It would seem like that is what makes the most sense.
And any update on you, Darvish? I know it's kind of feels like it's a day-to-day thing with him, but anything new?
He's going to throw a real bullpen, supposedly. So, it's been glorified catch the last 2 or 3. I think he did 3 last week, where that was significant going off the mound, right? But not anywhere near full intensity. The catcher was standing up. It was get the feel of going off the mound. This is supposedly going to be a real bullpen. Now, real bullpen, but not full intensity probably. Works his way back into that. But it's a significant step nonetheless. It's actual pitching versus what he's been doing. And so that's a big step, because it then leads to, full intensity bullpen, a couple of those, and then face hitters. Still probably looking end of May, early June.
Okay. All right. So, Kevin Acee, our Padres insider. Again, the good news that we've talked about with Kevin repeatedly is their start. I mean, when you start a season 15-4, not as if you start at 4-15, you're going to do things to jeopardize health. All right. That's not the business that professional sports organizations are in. But I feel like when you're 15-4, it gives you the luxury of potentially waiting on things, whether it's a Darvish, whether it's a Merrill. I mean, that's the benefit that the Padres have, because nobody really expected them to get out of the gates 15-4.
I don't think you expect very many teams to get out 15-4, but you're absolutely correct. You could get closer, right? A couple weeks, and they're still winning. They could be let's go ahead and give Darvish a little more time or whatever. You're right. They wouldn't be rushing these guys back now. But the big thing is you don't even really have to worry about it. It's okay. Yeah. How great's it going to be? They're from their point of view, how great's it going to be when we get these guys back?
Speaking on their 15-4 start here, their bullpen has been amazing. If you had to, rank here, the biggest reasons why they are where they are to start their season, where do you put the back of their bullpen on that chart there, Kevin?
I mean, wow, that's a good ranking. That's a really good question, because I thought they were a strength going in. You never know. Bullpen's really up and down. I still say that their offense is relentless, and I'd put that up top, because they won some games when their pitchers weren't great. Their starting pitchers weren't great. But I'll put that bullpen right after the relentless offense, and you could convince me that it's the number one thing, because of the way it allows Mike Shildt. This only really come into play a few games, like the Vasquez game in Oakland, where he pulled him after whatever it was, 15 pitches, or it was like 70 pitches after 5 innings, because he knew that he had his back end guys rested with a day off the next day. And those back end guys to that point, and for another game too, were all undefeated. They'd never pitched in a loss until they pitched in that 10 inning loss this past Tuesday. So that just is really the way that he can manage, the way that everybody feels confident, the way that they know if they just battle back, if they stay close within one run, like the residual effects of that bullpen too. You could convince me that it was like the number one thing, but that offense is just so overwhelming that I have that as number one.
Kevin Acee is our Padres insider. I was just going to ask about Tyler Wade, who clears waivers. That ended up being a significant, that ends up being significant for the Padres because of the injuries that they've dealt with. As they get healthier over the course of the year, is Tyler Wade the type of player that even as players get healthier and active, is still going to find a way to stick on this roster like he did in 2024?
It's a really good question, and one that I've tried to talk to people about, and they say it's too early to talk about that. But their answer is yes, as in of course, because of what he did last year and how important he was. And I think it's a great story, right? Like they're all playing it off or Tyler is I was never leaving and stuff,
right.
But that hurt big time, right? To know how important you were, and for everyone to tell you how important you were, and then you get 86th before the season. That hurt. He took a few days. He got over it. He's like, this is still the best place for me to be. They do value me. He and Mike Schilt are extremely close. And so he knew that it was the best place for him. And I think that a part of him knowing it's the best place for him is that they value him. And so I'm coming full circle to say to you, yes, I think this guy does stick on the roster. That's not to say that he actually, wait a minute, I'm going to have to recheck my rules. They get a little complicated now. He was out of options, and I still think he is. So basically,
it's a good point.
On this roster, I think there again, I got to check with Josh Stein sometimes on some of these things because I forget how it all works once you get to certain guys, like in Tyler's case.
And real quick here, Kevin, it's hard to do real quick on this question here, but Fernando Tatis Jr., the biggest thing I feel like with him this year is his strikeout rate is way down. I think he has more walks than strikeouts this year. What's the biggest reason to that you've talked to people about?
Well, it's the low and away breaking ball that he's staying off of, and that people are actually throwing to him less because he's staying off of it. He's proved that he's staying off of it. His chase rate's about the same because he chased a lot last week, and it's such a small sample size. But by and large, the first 2 weeks of the season, he was not chasing. Now, the adjustment that he made with his leg kick, he says, helps keep him more under control. And what I love about this, and I've talked to you guys about this before, in my business, you get told a lot of things, and you develop this healthy skepticism. And in spring training, everybody was talking about, and it did look like in some of the games, wow, Fernando's really intentional here. But it was spring training. And now what they're saying and what he was doing in spring training, he's carried it into the season. And that is just a really cool thing to see, that he is committed to this approach. And look, he's had stretches like this. So let's, again, start of the season, we all look at it like it's this huge thing. And if you go back, he has had stretches like this. So he still needs to keep doing it.
That's a good point. And I'm on high alert this weekend. I mean, Houston, as good as they've been, postseason 8 straight years, they got off to a really slow start last year before turning it on. They have not gotten off to a terrible start, but it's not Astro-like at 8-10 overall. So this is a test. I think this whole road trip, Kevin, final one for me, I guess, this road trip's a challenge, right? Detroit's been really good, and Houston hasn't started well, but it's still Houston.
Yes, and I feel like the Padres feel that too. Okay, all right, and it would be really silly for them to get too overconfident, right? Just because of a start. They have a bunch of veterans, but they just really feel like everything they say is just sort of yeah, okay, now we're on to the next test. And it does feel like they know that this ballpark, this team, and then obviously the Tigers. I haven't looked to see who they face with the Tigers, but Tigers offense appears to be going too. So 100% with you. And then, you get into May, or you got the Giants just before May, you go to Yankees. I mean, I feel like their schedule was a little backloaded. I look ahead and I see some really tough series.
Yeah, big trip here with the 6 games against Houston and Detroit. We'll see if the Padres can stay hot with the best record in baseball at 15-4 overall. Kevin, we always appreciate it. Enjoy the weekend. We'll catch up next week.
Right on, guys. Talk to you.
All right. Kevin Acee, again, our Padres insider, joining us here thanks to our friends at Jamul Casino, the all-new Jamul Casino Resort, the Players' Place. We're going to react to that on the other side. Plus, we're going to catch up with a number of guests here from Riverwalk. This is a great afternoon out here. The AztecLink Golf Classic Golf Tournament at Riverwalk. Padres getting ready for the Astros. We're talking Aztec football as well in front of their spring showcase coming up tomorrow at Snapdragon Stadium. Don't go anywhere. It's Jon and Jim. All right, so interest rates have plummeted, and it is time to call Loan Pronto. Hey, guys, it's Schaeffer, and if you're looking to get cash out of your home equity, refinance out of a high rate, or do a home improvement project, Loan Pronto can make it happen in a matter of days. Take advantage of this opportunity and get tens or even hundreds of thousands out of your home equity. Pay off all your credit cards, pay off your car loans. The average homeowner cuts their monthly bills by $1,000. You can get more info at loanpronto.com. Inflation and higher costs have put a lot of people in a stressful financial situation. But if you own a home, there is a way out. Loan Pronto has multiple options that can help you get the financial freedom you deserve. Most homeowners get their cash in less than 2 weeks. Most don't even need an appraisal. You can do the smart thing, stop paying insane rates on those credit cards, wipe them all out, get a lower mortgage rate, get some money for that home improvement project. It all starts by getting in contact with the experts at Loan Pronto. LoanPronto.com or call now, 619-207-4336, loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, NMLSconsumeraccess.org. All right, Jon and Jim, San Diego Sports 760, and we've got 13 chances to win $1,000 every weekday with the Bonus Bucks giveaway. That's every hour, 6 a.m. through 6 p.m., which includes the next couple of hours. Listen for the keyword, then enter it at sportssd.com. If you've missed anything today, make sure to check it out at sportssd.com or on the iHeartRadio app. Search for San Diego Sports 760. Search for Jon and Jim. We've caught up with Kevin Acee, Aztec head coach Sean Lewis, JD Wicker as well, Trey White, edge rusher for the Aztecs. So if you've missed anything, make sure to visit sportssd.com or the iHeartRadio app. We'll give away Sesame Place tickets this hour. Be listening for that 4-pack of tickets to Sesame Place. So we caught up with Kevin. Nothing really to report on Jason Hayward. He said, he didn't think as if you should make anything significant of it. Hayward out, Oscar Gonzalez in. Hayward scratched due to left knee soreness tonight for the Padres in Houston.
You surprised by the Merrill timeline?
Yeah, that's actually the story. So first of all, the story was him going on the 10-day IL, and then it was, he'll be off, obviously, in 10 days. This gives us plenty of time. He's going to be nowhere near 10 days.
Not even close.
Because now with these 6, when did he go on? When's the last game he played in?
The last game that Merrill played in was in Chicago. He did not play on that. He did not play in the A series.
So when was it? What was the date of the Chicago game that he last played?
Where is it here? It's the 16th? No. Sorry. Where was it?
Chicago.
6th, April 6th.
And today is the 18th, and he's eligible. He's not on the road trip. So the first game he could play is the 25th. So that is 19 days.
And Kevin said more likely towards the middle of the homestand.
So you're at least if he does miss the Tampa series from the 6th to the 29th is 3 weeks and 2 days. So from, hey, he's not going to go on the IL to 10 days is more than enough to 10 days not being anywhere near enough if he returns for the Giants series on the 29th. And maybe that does require rehab. 23 days without playing is basically like missing a spring training or close to it.
Now they are, 7-2 without him? Or is that better than that? They are,
I think that might be 7-2 without him.
7-2 without Jackson Merrill.
Can they keep doing that?
That's the thing is, can they keep winning? Because if they keep winning and they keep playing really good baseball, we're not going to have a conversation every day of like, Jackson Merrill needs to return like now.
Right. Enjoy the next 9 years.
Well,
and 135 mil.
No, I love watching Jackson Merrill play. He might be my favorite Padre to watch play baseball. And it just bums me out that from what was first initially thought of like a week injury, or actually thought of just a cramp and like a day injury to.
No, he wasn't the cramp. He was still the hamstring. Cramp was Cronenworth.
Well, but Jake was, or not Jake, but Jackson was more or less like a sore hamstring.
Yeah, maybe.
It wasn't initially viewed on day one in Oakland as like he's going on the IL tomorrow.
That's
it was
right.
like, well, it's a little bulky and we'll see how it feels.
That's right.
And hopefully have him back maybe Wednesday.
Right. Yeah.
And now it's like, well, he might not be back till the end of April.
Yeah, the thing that bums me out is, to your point, Padres fans love watching him play. And let's say he does come back at the end of April, this idea that we've talked about, like, wow, 3 home runs to start the year. Is he going to develop into a 30-plus home run hitter, or is he going to drive in 100? When you miss, I don't know how many games it's going to be, but if he misses 20 games, and maybe that's high, but you miss 15 or 20 games, it's a chunk of your season. It's not the end all be all. It's not 80 games. So 15 or 20 games is going to potentially prevent you from hitting 30 home runs or driving in 100 runs.
Because the biggest thing with Jackson last year is he played 156 games.
And that was with him probably getting an off day or two early against left-handed pitching. They're just like, yeah, we'll sit him. Yeah. And then he played every day.
Yeah. And now he's like, you sit me, Mike, I'm going to fight you.
And he can still play. Like, could he play 140? Yeah, but that might be a stretch. With missing 15 or 20 games, he'd basically have to play every other day this year to play 140 games.
Yeah. Again, you much rather lose a battle here and win the war with him.
Yep.
Like, if he's going to miss 20 games at the beginning of the season, so be it, as long as he's healthy for the end of the year. And for obviously the rest of the season as well. You don't want him just to be healthy in September. You want him to be healthy in June, July, August, and September as well, and May coming up here. So I was a little surprised by that, hearing that from Kevin. That it's
I
not
was surprised when I found that he was on the road trip 2 days ago.
I thought that. Now he just started 2 days ago We saw him on the field
Yeah.
rehabbing.
Baseball activities.
Mm-hmm. So the start of this road trip, very unlikely. But I was like, maybe the end of the road trip. Now it's like maybe the middle of next homestand.
Right, if not the next time they go on the road. All right, more on that on the other side. Plus, coming up next, we're giving away that 4-pack of tickets to Sesame Place. We believe we'll be joined by Donnel Pumphrey, the all-time rushing leader in FBS football, of course, an Aztec for life. Donnel Pumphrey at our golf event we're at here today at Riverwalk. This is the AztecLink Golf Classic. Also, we'll catch up with Caleb Davis, the new general manager. It's the Sesame Place here in San Diego on Jon and Jim.
All right, this update is brought to you by the San Diego Seals, Padres, and Astros. Starting a 3-game series tonight in Houston. 5:10 first pitch. Kyle Hart on the mound for the Padres. Jason Hayward was a late scratch in the lineup. Oscar Gonzalez will be in left field for the Padres tonight. And tomorrow, San Diego FC takes on Charlotte on the road. 4 p.m. is when our pregame coverage starts. 4:30 kickoff. You can listen to that match right here on San Diego Sports 760. Playoffs are on the line And the San Diego Seals need you in the stands. It's fan appreciation night tonight at 7:30. First 4,000 fans get a free Seals beach tote, $5 beers all night. Don't miss it. Tickets at sealslax.com.
We'll give away a 4-pack of tickets to Sesame Place in the next 10 minutes. Be listening. We'll let you know when to call. Don't call right now. 767-4760. I've got my eye. We're at Riverwalk for this Don Coryell AztecLink Golf Tournament supporting San Diego State football. And they've got this silent auction going on right now. Is it a silent auction or a live auction?
It's called a live auction, John.
Whatever. They have a silent auction going on, and I just retweeted a link to the silent auction if you're listening, because you don't have to be here to win. And it's going on until 7:30 tonight at John Schaeffer. I got my eye on this Tatis jersey, dude. The current bid is $695. Now, is that a lot of money? Yeah. Do I have $695 to tell my wife I just bid on a Fernando Tatis Jr.? Now, it's a signed, authenticated, official road Padres jersey and includes a Joe Musgrove signed baseball.
Do it. Be a man.
Now, it's $695, which means I would need to bid $696. Not to mention the bidding will probably go up. But I feel like for one of our listeners that's a diehard Padres fan, this is probably going to end up being worth thousands of dollars. And you can get it for less than that by bidding and supporting AztecLink at the same time.
Yeah, but how much time's left on the? Yeah,
it ends at
3 hours, John.
So what's it going to go?
I remember my first time bidding on things.
That's the thing. I'm not a big bidder.
Yeah, you bid on something now, you're like, oh, I'm going to win.
I'm going to win, and then it goes up.
And then that last like 30 minutes, it like triples.
What do you think this goes for? Tatis authenticated jersey.
$2,000.
Okay, I don't have $2,000.
Just saying, dude.
Yeah,
this thing's already almost 1,000.
Right.
And you watch the last hour, 45 minutes. This thing, the last 10 minutes. If someone really wants that, it's going to go for a good amount of money. You have zero shot unless you want a divorce.
I have no shot.
Unless you want a divorce.
Well, I wouldn't tell her.
Okay.
Although I'm talking about on the radio.
Yeah, well, she's not listening, right?
That's a really good point.
Yeah, exactly.
We are at Riverwalk here supporting AztecLink. This is the Coryell Classic Golf Tournament. It's turned out to be a pretty nice day. We've had a little bit of all of the elements. Like we had rain earlier. Yeah. We've had overcast skies. The sun was out. It's been cold. It's been warm, but it's a nice afternoon. We've caught up with Sean Lewis and Trey White and JD Wicker. We'll be joined by Donnel, Pumphrey, and we still have Caleb Davis, San Diego State's general manager, that will join us. We're also getting ready for Padres baseball coming up in 30 minutes from Houston, as that'll be game one of a 6-game road trip. You touched on the what Kevin told us, which is Jackson Merrill not just missing the road trip, but potentially missing the upcoming homestand as well. We'll see.
Yeah.
We don't know if he misses the entire homestand or not, but Jackson Merrill, who was placed on the 10-day IL, is going to miss a lot more than 10 days coming up here for the Padres. We'll see how they navigate that moving forward beginning tonight.
You know, I was thinking about this morning. We have Mike Farron on a lot. Mike Farron,
yes.
Great friend of the show. He is a great resource for all Major League Baseball knowledge. I mean,
Right.
He talks to the top people in the sport.
Okay.
And I saw something across my timeline, and it was like the best records in baseball. Padres,
Right.
Dodgers,
Giants,
D-backs.
Those are the top four.
Well, like they're in the top
Yeah.
of the league, right?
Right.
And I'm like, okay, easily best division in baseball.
Did he say no?
You don't remember? He
Mike Farron earlier this year said, no, was it Mike Farron that
Yeah.
said maybe not because of the Rockies?
Yes.
I didn't think it was Mike
It
Farron.
was 100% Mike Farron.
I need to go find that interview.
100% Mike
I
Farron.
thought it might have been like Jesse Rogers.
100% Jesse Rogers.
It was Jesse Rogers.
Was it Jesse Rogers?
Yeah, Mike Farron didn't say the NL West wasn't the best division of
Well,
baseball.
guess what? I'm an idiot.
I'm pretty sure it wasn't Mike Farron because Mike Farron kind of has the Western slant. He spent a lot of time with the Diamondbacks. I don't think he
Yeah,
would say that.
That right there.
I need
just
to
show-
hear it.
That just shows everybody out there that it's very hard to just remember what I did yesterday, let alone who the hell said that.
Yeah, what if Mike Farron is listening now? Again, he probably would be in the friend of the show conversation with like the Annies and the Darnays and the Jim Russells, although you're on the show. But is he still going to be a friend of the show when you're like, he called out the NL West?
I'm glad
And
you
also,
said that. 'Cause
To start the season, though, you're just making project. I don't like to start the year. it would be okay to be wrong because you wouldn't really know. Now that we're 3 weeks in, it's becoming more clear that maybe this will be the best division in baseball. It's still not a guarantee.
Not a guarantee. You could have the Giants fall off a cliff. You could have anybody fall off a cliff.
Right, exactly.
Because of injuries. But to start the season, the National League West, I mean, I don't know. We didn't watch this game today. But
this bonkers game.
Did you see what happened in the Cubs D-backs game?
I have.
I mean, you're going into right here. Let me pull this up. So the game was 13-11. Cubs won that game. Wild game. But as you head to the top of the 7th inning, John, it was a 2-1 game.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, head to the bottom of the 7th, it was a 2-1 game.
Wrigley.
And there were a 21 total runs scored in an inning and a half.
And 7 home runs, I think.
7 home runs.
Yeah.
And the Cubs won that game 13-11. D-backs scored 10 runs in the 8th inning.
And lost.
And
they scored
lost that
10
game.
runs in an inning and lost. How many times in baseball history has a team scored 10 runs in an inning and lost?
I don't know, but
not a lot.
Nah, I'm looking at here. It's like home run, Gurriel home run,
Yuli?
Kelly home run, Kyle Tucker home run, Seiya Suzuki home run. It's like, what the hell happened at Wrigley today?
You know, Cubs, who the Padres have played, 6 times already this year and split those 6 games?
Cubbies are tough, man.
That's what I was going to say. Like, the Cubs are also, when we talk about, hey, look at the NL West, I agree. The NL West has been way better than the NL Central. But the Cubs have played the Padres and the Dodgers already a ton and have played well against those teams. They have an over 500 record against the Cubs, against the Padres and the Dodgers.
Yeah.
So the Cubs, I think, are formidable. And we haven't even talked much about the East. We know Atlanta has started slow. Some of that because of the Padres.
5-13.
A lot of that because the Padres for those games. But then there's the Phillies, and then there's the Mets. And by the way, Atlanta, I'm not counting them out after 18 games. It holds true what we said earlier this year. There might be 7 or 8 really good teams in the National League.
Yeah.
You know, there might be 7 or 8 really good teams. Not all of them are going to make the postseason.
Nope, for 6 spots. And it's crazy. The Padres are 15-4. I get it. It's early.
Yep.
And they only have a game and a half lead in their division to
Right.
start. You know,
Right.
Usually you would think you go 15-4 to start your season. You're about 5-6 games up potentially right there.
Could be, yeah.
Again, it doesn't matter, but just nice to see that, right? Off the rip. Nope. That division so far, everybody's keeping pace. Everybody's playing really good baseball to start the season. And I do think it's going to carry through the entire year that the National League West, if these teams remain relatively healthy, Dodgers, Padres, Giants, D-backs are all going to be in contention for sure, in my opinion.
We have an update on the timetable for Jake Cronenworth that we will share with you on the other side, plus exactly what Mike Schultz said about Jackson Merrill's return. But call right now if you want a free 4-pack of tickets to Sesame Place San Diego. Caller 7, you're going. The number to call, 877-767-4760. Awesome prize, a 4-pack of tickets to Sesame Place San Diego. Caller 7, you're going. 877-767-4760. It's open daily through April 20th. Experience a hopping good time at Elmo's Extravaganza with exciting rides, move and groove to the Sesame Street Party Parade, plus meet the Easter Bunny and your favorite furry friends dressed in their Easter best. Open daily through April 20th. Visit SesamePlaceSanDiego.com for details. And again, 877-767-4760. Donnel Pumphrey, Aztecs General Manager Caleb Davis. We're at Riverwalk until 6 p.m. Getting you ready for Padres Astros at 5:10. The latest on Jake Cronenworth's timetable next, Jon and Jim. right, Jon and Jim, San Diego Sports 760. We're going to hear from Mike Schilt coming up in a moment. What are you laughing at?
Well, I didn't realize there's like a barber on the first tee over there. I need a cut.
Do you need a cut? Yeah,
like a
bit.
beard, like a little beard trim here.
Well, I mean, you could do that after the show.
Well, he might be gone,
He
John.
might not be, though. I feel like this event's going to be going on until past 6 p.m.
Get a shave during the show.
Yeah, do it. Bring him over here.
Okay.
Man.
If we had a portable mic, I'd go over there and get it, but we don't. You have one? Go get him.
Bring him over the barber.
Yeah.
Well, you could always get like a haircut at a different time.
Well, I just talked about like the beard, John.
Do you ever just do a beard like barber trim?
Yes, I do. Actually.
Where?
My barber in Kensington.
Okay.
No, when I get a haircut, I go and I usually get like a beard shave as well.
That's terrific.
You don't have that because you don't have a beard.
I don't grow a beard. Mike, we're going to hear from Mike Schilt in a moment. All right, this is Jay Cronenworth in an article that Kevin just published. We didn't ask about Jay Cronenworth when we asked about everything else. Okay. We'll hear from Schilt in a moment, but according to Jake, he's optimistic he could return in less than 4 weeks. So I don't know if that includes from the time he got hurt, but he's been doing work. Again, he's on the IL with that fractured rib. And from what I've been told, the only way I can re-injure it is if I get hit, according to Jay Cronenworth.
Do you think he's got to wear like a
jacket?
Kevlar jacket when he goes to the plate now?
Honestly, he might. I mean, can you imagine having broken ribs and then getting back in the batter's box with broken ribs?
No, I
cannot
can't
imagine that. I cannot imagine that
because I'm not a baseball player, John.
Well, I don't want to. But I'm just saying I don't want the idea in my head that I have broken ribs and I could re-break them.
Especially the fact that, like, you need to swing the bat. It's not.
Yes,
it's not just about
it's important.
Potentially getting hit. It's like I have to swing this bat. And that involves a lot of, obviously, like rib area,
torque,
and the oblique area.
Dude,
bro,
I'm just going to keep doing the radio show. Way easier.
Oh, way easier.
I never get hit with a fastball in the ribs.
No. Have you ever gotten hurt, though?
Yeah.
How?
I've broken some things.
No, I meant like during a radio show.
Oh, no. I don't think so. Maybe my ears.
Yeah, maybe my voice.
Yeah, but not really.
No.
Have you been hurt on the radio? Have you been hurt in life?
I have, yeah.
Well, yeah, you had a kidney stone.
That's not really, that's hurting. That's
hurting.
Yeah, but like that's not like a broken bone or something.
Arguably worse.
Arguably way worse. I would much rather take a broken bone.
Would you?
100%.
I've never. Okay, yeah, I'm not going to get
100%.
Okay. Have you broken bones?
I have broken bones. Yes, I broke my wrist in high school playing basketball. every time I mention I played basketball, you just laugh.
What, hanging on the rim?
No, dude. All right, you want to know how I actually did it? You're gonna laugh at me.
Yeah, sure.
So we were playing in a alumni game my senior year. It's like
isn't that an oxymoron because you weren't an alumni yet?
No. Listen.
Okay.
The varsity basketball team against the alumni of my high school.
Okay.
And on a fast break, I go up to try to block some guy's shot, and he like kind of undercuts me. I fall backwards.
Brace yourself.
Brace myself. Yeah. Land on my wrist. It immediately like swells up.
Ugh.
I didn't think it was that bad, and about 15 minutes later, I'm like, "Oh, this really hurts." And I found out I had a minor little fracture in my wrist. And so I had to cast on for like 3.5, 4 weeks. I missed the start of my senior basketball season.
Is that why you had that scholarship rescinded from Kentucky?
Yeah, it was. And
you know the moral of the story? Don't try to block shots when you're Jim, when you're 5'10". Okay, you're not like Mr. Athlete.
I'm not LeBron on a fast break, right?
Not Mr. Athlete. Can I give you a quick story and then we'll hear from Mike Schilt?
I was gonna say, so
your wrist is fine.
My wrist is fine.
Yeah,
but if you can tell here, and you can't really see it on the radio, I can't bend my thumb straight anymore because I broke my wrist in high school. So
what does that have to do with your thumb?
Because it like the joint snapped off here in my like thumb area because my wrist didn't fully heal properly. So now I can't make a straight
How about this?
Anyway,
There's something called, I had something similar. There's something called skier's thumb. When a skier goes down, they brace, and then your thumb can snap back. I did that not skiing. When I dropped, so before, like 10 years ago, when I was walking our dog Sully, I dropped
walking your dog.
I did. Listen to this. I dropped his leash, and he was like a runner. So I was so scared this dog was going to run away. Even though he didn't know I dropped his leash, it was just out there like sniffing the grass, not even moving. I pounced on the leash. Now I could have done it with my foot. I could have just stepped on the leash like a normal person. I pounced on the leash so hard, my thumb snapped back. I broke my thumb.
You would get
walking
hurt
my dog.
You would get hurt,
and then almost threw up because because I don't know what happened. I had this like visceral reaction when I saw my thumb like backwards.
You don't do well with gory bone
it's
breaking.
just my own body.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway, that's what kept me out of the Olympics and skiing.
Olympics of skiing.
Let's hear from. This was Mike Schilt with the media prior to tonight's game in Houston against the Astros.
Listen, he'd be a better guy to really answer that, but I know he's been really intentional about making sure he's getting a pitch in the zone he can take a good swing on, and recognizing he's got a 3-time batting champion behind him to hit, so he doesn't have to feel like he's got to chase. I thought his last at bat to get that walk, especially after a couple really kind of close strikes ish, and that last at bat where he walked with the bases loaded, stayed within himself, fought off some tough pitches, and then took some tough pitches. He's showing a lot of play zone discipline. When he does that, it's pretty scary.
Yeah. We've talked about it, but if you don't mind reviewing just the 2-out approach that the team has had. I know it's not a specific 2-out approach per se, but there have been a lot of 2-out rallies that have been started oftentimes with walks. I mean, does that just come down to discipline and, again, a trust that the guy behind you might get something done so you don't have to force anything?
I think it's as much as just knowing that we're going to compete regardless of circumstance. We get a couple outs. I'm sure they've had to earn them, but now it's 2 outs, nobody on. We got to figure out a way. So the guys just got to figure out a way to get on base and create something for the next guy.
Kyle really did a nice job in his last outing. What was the difference in that last outing between the one before that where he really struggled? Just basic command of getting in the zone and working ahead?
Yeah, it starts with commanding the baseball, being able to throw it in the zone. Most of the time you have to get outs in the strike zone. So he was able to do that with multiple pitches, righties, lefties, threw the ball very well. Good tempo, controlled counts, set himself up for success.
How much of it is him maybe just getting used to being in the big leagues again? Is there any element to that, do you think?
I think that's probably something to it. He's doesn't have a lot of time and went over to Korea to work on his craft and dominated that. And still coming back and finding his footing, but I think he's in a good place.
Any update on Jackson? He would have been eligible to come off the IL at this point, but what can you tell us about his progress?
Yeah, Jackson didn't travel, just back and getting more controlled environments where he could do some things, but he is getting to a point where he can start to jog a little bit and do some baseball activity. And the good news is he's recovering every day and everything's a little bit better and his strength's getting to come back.
How about Jake?
Jake's on the road with us. Doing some baseball activity today, starting to get a little more range of motion. So just a matter of him being able to, do what he can do based on what his tolerance is.
Saw you in the clubhouse as well. How's he coming along with his progress?
He's doing good. He's on the road. He's, he got a chance to bullpen over this course of this homestands, or this road trip rather, this series specifically. So we'll see. I think a real bullpen, the intensity level will be based on his feeling. But like I said, I believe that a couple of days ago, he's now at a point where he's playing mound catch. So he's lengthening out his long toss. Arm feels good. And now he's at a point where he can feel like he can, play some catch on the mound. And now it's intensity's there for some level of bullpen with a catcher down.
Do you think Jackson staying back and getting that intentional work could lead to him going against Tampa at the start of it?
It's hard for me to say. I think that could be a little aggressive. I mean, he's going to need to get some other baseball activity. Like I said, we're not putting a big timeline on this, him or Locke or Crony for that matter. We're just trying to see where they're at. And right now, you got to progress to more of a good, consistent jog before we can go any further.
Where's the update with Locke? I'm sorry.
Very similar to Jackson. They're very similar in their progressions right now. Their strength, they're clearly different athletes, but both of them are making progress. And Locke's with Jackson. Hamstring buddies.
Jeremiah Strada has been pretty good at the back end of your bullpen. What have you seen from his growth?
Jeremiah's been very good. He was very good for us last year. He's a big part of our success last year. As far as the growth goes, he continues to be really confident in a very good manner of how he competes. He's going to be aggressive with his. He's got multiple plus pitches. He's got a plus fastball that explodes on hitters. He's got the split. He's got the slider. So he's got a lot of weapons that he can dispose in the strike zone that he does consistently for quality strikes, and he's very efficient.
All right, my takeaway there is he called Jackson Merrill and Brenden Lockridge hamstring buddies. Put it on a T-shirt.
No, don't put that on a T-shirt.
Hamstring buddies.
Hamstring bros.
Hammy bros.
Yeah, the hammy
Did you
bros.
say hammy bros?
No, that's just what we're calling it now. The hammy bros.
Put it on a T-shirt.
Put everything on a T-shirt.
All right.
Put that on a T-shirt.
We are at
Put that on a T-shirt. Put it on a T-shirt.
We're at Riverwalk. It's the 2025 AztecLink Coryell Classic Golf Tournament. We're getting you ready for tomorrow at Snapdragon Stadium, which is a spring showcase. Free tickets at goaztecs.com. Tomorrow, gates open at noon. Activities from 1 to 3 tomorrow. And in the 5 o'clock hour, we'll be joined by San Diego State's new football general manager, Caleb Davis. We're also getting you ready for the Padres playing game 1 of their series in Houston tonight, coming up in about 15 or 20 minutes. Final hour of Jon and Jim comes your way next.
Brought to you by the San Diego Seals. Padres and Astros start a 3-game series tonight in Houston. 5:10 first pitch. Kyle Hart on the mound for the Padres. Jason Hayward, late scratch for the Padres. Oscar Gonzalez, he is in the starting lineup tonight. And SDFC takes on Charlotte tomorrow afternoon, late afternoon. 4 p.m. is when our pregame coverage starts. 4:30 kickoff. You can listen to the match right here on San Diego Sports 760. Playoffs are on the line, John, and the San Diego Seals need you in the stands. It's Fan Appreciation Night tonight at 7:30 p.m. First 4,000 fans get a free Seals beach tote. $5 beers all night long. You do not want to miss it. Tickets at sealslax.com.
Getting you all set for that drive home. Let's just start the show. Here's Jon and Jim.
All right, San Diego and Southern California, what's going on? This is the final hour of Jon and Jim live from the 2025 AztecLink Coryell Classic Golf Tournament. We're at Riverwalk, where it has turned into a gorgeous afternoon. Sun shining. We've been talking Aztec football for the last couple of hours. We've had Sean Lewis with us and Trey White, the edge rusher, and JD Wicker, San Diego State's athletic director. If you've missed any of these conversations, you can find them at sportssd.com or on the iHeartRadio app. Make sure to put us in your presets, both Jon and Jim, and also San Diego Sports 760. Jim is just like itching to get out there. He's been watching. We're overlooking the first tee, and we've been watching this event play out over the last 3 or 4 hours. And like you really want to get out there, don't you?
I do. I do. It's funny because I'm watching, and one of my biggest pet peeves on the golf course is pace of play. Now, again, you're not having to worry about that today. It's a fun time today. There's a bunch of activation holes. Like literally, there's a barber over here giving people fresh cuts on the first tee box. Also, Almond RX. Plant-based protein.
I love Almond RX.
Is on the first tee as well. So
you're saying it's not the Masters though, like where it's
no. I'm sure they have like closest to the pin holes,
Gotcha.
which I think is right here. I see Sean Lewis on, I believe, 18 over there, talking to people that come up that way. So you don't have to worry about pace of play today. But that is one of my biggest pet peeves when I go on a golf course is a pace of play. And so we're just watching the people on the first tee box here, and this guy's waiting to hit his tee shot, and the guys are like literally 400 yards out there. I'm like, you can hit your ball, my guy.
So so for you, like, what are you looking for, like, in a golf outing? Is it based on, like, are you looking for a certain thing in a course? Like, do you want the course to be easy, hard, picturesque? Like, what are the things you're looking for when you go out? Are you looking for the right company? Are you looking to be able to not wait for forever to play every single shot, like you just said, with pace of play? Like, what's a good golf outing for you? Is it based on how you play?
Well, yeah, of course it is. I'm like, if I shoot like a 97.
Well, I'll give you an example. So then if you're out at like Torrey, is it automatically like tough because you're playing like this world-class course?
If you're at a course like Torrey Pines, if you're playing the South Course and the course is immaculate and it's perfect out, 77 degrees, little
Beautiful
bit of breeze,
day.
maybe it's slight overcast, but all in all, like you could not ask for more perfect conditions.
Then it doesn't matter what you shoot, right?
It doesn't really matter.
Because then you're just enjoying like the ambiance, the experience.
Absolutely. One of my best friends is a golf pro, so I've been lucky enough when I'm with him, like he gets us on like some really nice courses. And when those happen, I don't care what I shoot. I'm sure a lot of people, like average golfers, if they play on nice courses, they don't care. And I'm glad I'm like that, because if I wasn't, I would hate that about myself. Because if I go on a really nice golf course and I get upset by shooting a 93 or whatever, I'd be like, dude, you're not Rory. Like, bring it back in. But
what do you think you'd shoot today out here?
I don't know, John.
No, I need to know.
I have no idea.
Okay, so it just depends on how you play.
85.
Okay.
That's probably what I would shoot.
On the front nine?
On the first 3 holes? What do you think you would shoot? Have you ever played a full round of golf in your life?
Maybe. maybe a couple of times going way back. Believe it or not, when I was younger, I took golf lessons. Is that hard to believe when you've watched me?
What?
I mean, I was much younger. Maybe as like a 12-year-old or 13-year-old. Didn't go very well.
Well, yeah, because now you're sitting here with me.
Yeah, exactly.
And
but
I've seen you swing a golf
it's
club.
not great.
It's not pretty.
Great.
It has a lot to be desired.
We're going to talk to Caleb Davis, San Diego State football's general manager. He's out here today, first-year GM of San Diego State. Brenden Hill is the NIL coordinator at San Diego State. I think he's going to swing by this hour as well. We'll have updates for you for Padres Astros about to get underway in Houston as well. But we're at Riverwalk. Again, there's this auction going on right now, Jim. You don't have to be here to win. It supports San Diego State football. You can bid from anywhere. Among the items you can bid for includes a Fernando Tatis Jr. autographed, authentic road jersey. You're right. The bid's gone up. The Tatis bid has gone up.
I know.
So I thought I could get it for maybe $700. I'm like, that's a must-have. It's up to $750.
You're not getting it for $700. Like I said,
this thing is going to be worth in 10 years. Honestly, let's say Tatis goes on to have the career we hope he has.
Now, do we know what exactly is this, like a game worn jersey?
That's a great question.
Because if it was like a
no, I don't think
Fernando Tatis Jr. First, Major League Baseball game worn jersey,
No,
like
no,
his
no, it's
debut
not
jersey.
his debut jersey. It just says autographed and authenticated Fernando Tatis Jr. jersey.
Okay, so it's probably just like a regular.
I don't even know.
Authenticated jersey.
But does that mean it's even an authentic?
Well, it's an authentic because it's signed by him. Like that's why it's authentic.
Right. And then you got the Joe Musgrove signed baseball that's authenticated.
Well, let me just break it to you right now.
I'm not going to have enough money.
0% chance you're going to get that.
Okay.
And I would bet that the bid will be
Thanks.
closer to $2,000 by the end of the night.
Thanks for letting me down. But for our listeners that might
Sorry.
have $2,000, which and something that might one day be worth like $10,000, you can find the link on social media at Jon Schaeffer. I just retweeted the link for the live auction at Jon Schaeffer, JonSchaeffer. Will you bid on anything before you get out of here tonight?
No, John.
Will you?
You know why I won't bid on anything?
Will you
tonight?
drive? Will you drive the first tee before you get out of here tonight?
Oh yeah, we're going over there hitting golf balls before we.
I don't know. I don't think I'm going to be able to. Is I got to get home,
John?
I have a kid.
John.
You have a wife.
Yeah, I know. And
There's
my
a
wife,
difference.
Well, actually, my wife is bedridden
I
right
know.
now.
She just had it right. I know.
So,
but her mom's in town.
Her mom's in town, so that's good. That's good. But bro, it's all about content. You know this.
I know
Content
it's
is
about
king.
content. And what has content gotten us to this point?
Well, we're here, aren't we?
It's true. It's true. It's true.
We're here on a beautiful day. Right now, it's beautiful.
Yeah, it's beautiful now.
And we're at the Riverwalk Golf Course here in Mission Valley.
I love this course. You do it to me.
We're at the Riverwalk Golf Course in Mission Valley. There, you happy? And we are having a blast. It's a great time. Dom's here. He was here.
Shout out, Air.
So, yeah. What were you saying about me?
I don't know, but Brenden Hill is the NIL coordinator at San Diego State. He's going to join us coming up. Caleb Davis is the new San Diego State football general manager. He'll join us this hour. We'll have updates from Padres and Astros for you, the latest on the health of the Padres this hour, as well as we've been discussing here until 6 p.m. Brenden Hill from San Diego State joins us next, Jon and Jim. right, Jon and Jim, San Diego Sports 760 here from Riverwalk. It's the 2025 AztecLink Golf Classic Golf Tournament. We've had great guests all afternoon long. So we've caught up with Sean Lewis and San Diego State Athletic Director JD Wicker, and we had Trey White earlier. We've got Brenden Hill, San Diego State's NIL coordinator, with us right now from Riverwalk. Caleb Davis is the new GM for San Diego State football. He'll join us in 30 minutes. But Brenden, it is great to see you. I feel like in your role, man, everything is changing by the day.
Yeah. Dealing
in the NIL space in college athletics. First of all, thanks for hopping on, and let's talk a little bit about name, image, and likeness, because this evolves not just like year in and year out. It's like day in and day out. What do you want our listeners to know about the space right now?
Other than it changes every day.
Yeah.
Just that we really need their support. We really need the community. The Link to 619 campaign is really it was created because we want the community to buy into SDSU athletics, buy into Snapdragon, buy into Coach Lewis, and most importantly, buy into these student athletes. Like, they spend so much time in the weight room, in the classroom. Chris Johnson was here earlier in the Scholar Athlete hoodie, right? Like, they're great people, and we really just need the community to get behind us. And I believe I choose to be optimistic that our community will rally and will pack Snapdragon out this fall and really make an impact on the game. You guys have heard me say this over and over again. Home field advantage and the crowd matters, right? Yep. For not just our competition in that game, but even the recruits that we need to bring in, right? So when people recruit against us, or there's a high school recruit in that arena, that's our chance to really put our best foot forward and show them that Snapdragon is the place to be, and San Diego is the place to be. And I'm really excited, and seeing our alumni here today has been awesome, because they've really laid the foundation for where we are today.
And how's the event gone so far today? I mean, it's nice that the sun has come out for us, but so far, how's everything gone?
Everything's been well, man. Going well. This is our second year kind of taking a crack at it, and moving it to Riverwalk has been awesome because it's centrally located, obviously. So really happy about how it's turned out, and can't thank the sponsors and you all enough for coming out and supporting us every chance you get. We really appreciate it. And like I said, the message is really for the San Diego community. Like this, Dutch says it all the time, right? Like, this is your team.
Yeah.
We're your school, right? And we understand. I'm from Virginia. This is a transient place, but we're the team in this market, and we want everyone to come out and support us however they see fit. And we know it's not perfect, but whatever they can do, we're just grateful and humbled by it. So
Brenden Hill is with us, San Diego State's NIL coordinator. So let's say someone's listening or watching this back or listening back, and they're a business owner, right? And they are in the community. What do they need to do to start the process of working with a student athlete at San Diego State?
Yeah, I think number one, you can reach out to me on goaztecs.com. We have a directory, and there's a category NIL. You can contact me directly. We've had some great inbound leads where I got a call, a random call. This is an anecdotal story, but a couple weekends ago, a month or two ago, I got a call on a Saturday morning to my office phone, and a gentleman who owns a financial advising firm. And he's like, hey, I have this idea. I have 3 daughters that are softball players, and I want to work with the softball team. And I have this idea for this commercial. And 6 weeks later, we're filming a commercial in our softball stadium with 3 of our student athletes and putting money in their pocket. And it's really not as hard as the media sometimes makes it seem to be. Right. I know we see a lot of headlines of, money and trucks and all that type of stuff, but fundamentally just taking advantage of the San Diego State brand, our alumni network, the student athletes, to amplify your business, I think is the key to it. So we're fortunate to have some great partners, the Broken Yolks of the world, the Mission Feds of the world, the San Diego Food Banks of the world. I could go on and on. I'm probably missing some, but really the key is leverage our student athletes, leverage the San Diego State social media accounts and team accounts, the alumni network, the email blast, all to celebrate our student athletes and your business. So we're open for business. Feel free to reach out, and we're happy to do some deals and put some things together.
And then specifically, AztecLink, which is, the reason why we're here today, over the last couple of years, getting to the point where you can get guys returning a big part because of AztecLink, like the big Trey Whites of the world, so how important has AztecLink been to that process and going forward, the growth of it here for the program?
We've built this thing, blood, sweat, and tears. I say Mike Coleman and J.R. Tolver, obviously, super grateful for them. They've been integral in our strategy. A lot of schools and ecosystems have gotten rid of their collectives, right? We don't see a world where that happens. I was just telling someone really how we view AztecLink, or even Mesa, but AztecLink in this case is they're a fan club, a booster club, a place where our fans can feel a part of something and a part of a community. And that your impact is directly supporting keeping a Trey White here in San Diego, right? Like, we all know that he had opportunities and offers along with a number of other student athletes to end up other places. But I remember meeting with Trey and just discussing, like, hey, man, why did you come here in the first place, right? And a lot of the things he talked about was the proximity for his family to see him play in a great environment, right? And I'll often tell this story, but we're fortunate, in my opinion, geographically, that we don't have a lot of schools breathing down our neck, right? Like on the East Coast, if you're in Virginia, you could throw a rock everywhere, and there's so much competition, right? So we're out here in a beautiful place with a ton of talent. And if we can keep, Coach always says, if we can keep our hometown heroes home, we have a chance to really like make the CFP playoffs and really like sell out the stadium and really make San Diego proud. And one of the biggest things, we have that event coming up Tuesday, but one of the biggest things is a rising tide lifts all boats, right? So the impact that San Diego State athletics doing well has on the San Diego State business community and the pride of San Diego and the economy here. I can't, underscore that enough, that, supporting our athletics program will have a direct financial impact on the community. So that's what we're hoping to do, and really grateful for Trey and those young people to decide to stay here. So
Brenden Hill is with us, San Diego State's NIL coordinator. You brought up an interesting point. Like, I think nationally, some people believe, NIL or college athletics has solely become about NIL, or it's solely about money. Yeah, that's not the case, because while it might be a component of it, as you said, there's been student athletes at San Diego State and elsewhere that have had opportunities for more money, but have elected to stay at their institutions, including San Diego State. So how do you see the role of NIL in the overall landscape of college athletics?
Yeah, I think it's a piece, right? Like, at one point it was a battle of who had the best locker rooms,
right,
and who had shoe contracts and different things like that, right? So there's always going to be things that everyone pits against each other as competitive advantages. But as Coach Lewis always says, we have to at least have a fighter's chance, a puncher's chance, right? Are we trying to go toe for toe with, some of these P4 schools? Not necessarily, right? But do we have to compete with our future competitors in the Pac-12? Absolutely, right? Do we have to compete with the Oregon States and Washington States of the world? Absolutely. And I think our community can do that, once again, because there's not a lot of, in my opinion, competition in the market. We just need, and we, like I said, I understand it's not perfect, but we just need people to rally behind us. And it's so easy to support something when it's at the top, right? And I think being able to say, no, I was a believer before that happened, I just imagine that that's a really great feeling, to know that you were on board with watching something turn the corner versus, oh, I was there when it got to the finish line, right? So that's my challenge to San Diego as a community is, get behind us now so that you can look back when we're raising a trophy and say, wow, I had a little piece of that, right? And every piece of this counts and matters, and can't underscore that enough. So.
I feel like that's where we are right now with the Aztec football program is the direction of Sean Lewis. You just hear him talk and you're just like, okay, I'm ready to run through a freaking wall right now. Right. So it feels like you said, getting in right now with this program is so important. What's it been like to work with Coach Lewis?
Man, phenomenal. He's a ball of energy. And I was fortunate enough to be on the committee that with him and Ruben, who helped, hire Caleb, right? And got to know Caleb in that process. And I think that's just another example of his commitment to putting us in a position to be competitive and win, right? He went out and understood that we need a dedicated general manager to oversee the day-to-day operations for his program. And he's just a visionary. He walks it like he talks it, which I think is super important, that your words have to match your actions. And I think that's why the student athletes respect him so much, is because he's not someone who's telling you to do something and then he's not actually living up to the same things that he's asking you to do. And I think he expects that from everyone around him, myself included. And it's really been a pleasure to work with him. And I'm really excited. I really believe in his vision for the program, and I really believe in him. And I just hope that the community understands that, you know, taking over a program at the point in which he took over the program and the timing in which he took it over, on top of all this portal and NIL type of thing, like it's a challenge, right? But, you know, if I can't harp on it enough, I think our challenge as a community is, you know, don't wait until it becomes successful. Have an investment and be a part of watching it rise and climb, so to speak. So shout out to Coach Lewis and his whole staff. They do a great job with our student athletes.
You can go to goaztecs.com. There's a whole site within it on Aztec NIL. So goaztecs.com. You can find it. Aztec NIL. You can work with San Diego State student athletes, and you can help your business and also San Diego State athletics at the same time. Brenden, we appreciate you, man. You're doing great work. We're excited for the upcoming season. We're excited for tomorrow. You'll be out there, right?
Yeah,
Snapdragon Stadium.
Yeah,
you playing? You should be playing, man.
No, my tic-tac-toe skills are a little rusty, but I'm really excited to see Aztec Nation in San Diego. I think so oftentimes we drill it down to just Aztec Nation, right? But like Aztec Nation is San Diego. And
I agree with
we
that.
want to see San Diego come out and support. It doesn't matter if you are alum or not an alum, but we want to see you out there. And thank you all for what you do to, you know, help support our programs. It doesn't go unnoticed. And not just San Diego State. I know the Padres are a big part of what you do too and what you talk about. So you guys are great advocates for all things San Diego, and couldn't be proud of our partnership. So thank you.
We appreciate it.
Yeah.
Brenden Hill, San Diego State's NIL coordinator. And again, if you want to see the Aztecs tomorrow, you can do so for free. The Spring Showcase at Snapdragon Stadium, free tickets. You need to claim them at goaztecs.com. It's tomorrow from 1 to 3. Gates open at noon. Caleb Davis, the new GM of San Diego State football, will join us in about 15 minutes. We're Riverwalk here. What a day it's turned out to be. Stay with us. It's Jon and Jim.
This update is brought to you by the San Diego Seals. We'll start with the Padres. They are in Houston against the Astros. It is a scoreless game in the top of the second inning in Houston. Oh, just kidding. Padres just took a 1-0 lead on a Tyler Wade RBI ground out. So the Padres lead 1-0 in Houston. And tomorrow night, San Diego FC takes on Charlotte on the road. 4:30 kickoff. 4 p.m. is when our pregame coverage starts. Listen to the match right here on your home of SDFC, San Diego Sports 760. Playoffs are going playoffs are on the line, John. And the San Diego Seals need you in the stands. It's Fan Appreciation Night tonight at 7:30. First 4,000 fans get a free Seals beach tote. $5 beers all night long. Do not miss it. Tickets at sealslax.com.
Hi, Jon and Jim from Riverwalk. We are here until 6 p.m. We are expected to be joined by San Diego State's new football general manager, Caleb Davis. He'll join us in about 10 or so minutes. This is the AztecLink Golf Classic Golf Tournament. If you want to bid on some of these auction items, you can do so. You don't have to be here. You can go online. I just retweeted a link to the auction from @Jon Schaeffer, so you can check that out. They've got Fernando Tatis Jr. autographed jerseys. They have San Diego State football helmets. They've got Marshall Faulk items, tons of stuff. You can check it out. Bidding is going on until 7:30. So Tyler Wade, I don't know if he's yet in the MVP conversation, but he was 2 for 2 on Wednesday, and now he's got an RBI ground out today.
When should I put the Tyler Wade jersey in the cart?
Right. When should his jersey be part of this auction going on right now at Riverwalk? Pretty soon, maybe in 2026.
I feel vindicated. Tyler Wade plays baseball tonight in Houston, and he has already come up with an
RBI ground out.
RBI ground out.
I don't know if it's a hit. Okay, so here's what happened. He hit a tailor-made ground ball double play, and he liked it out, and that scored a run. Otherwise, it would have been a double play to end the inning.
So RBI ground out.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I'm just watching how it played out.
Yeah.
It looked like off the bat it was going to be a double play, but he liked it out. So 1-0 Padres in the second inning.
Oh, look at Talking Friar. Good job, buddy.
He tweeted that.
Of course he did. Of course he did.
How is that?
Well,
anyway.
Tag me next time, buddy.
Tag what? Because of the Wade?
Yeah, I'm talking about Talking Friars.
What's going on? We're going to have Caleb join us in a couple of minutes.
Okay,
from
perfect.
San Diego. Actually, you want to hop on right now, Caleb?
Let's do it.
Hop on. We were just talking to Brenden Hill. We haven't met in person. John. Caleb. Jim.
Nice to meet you. Put on the headset
we're live
there.
On the radio.
Live radio.
So we talked to you a couple of weeks in, which was just a couple of weeks ago.
Yep.
And you're for our listeners, San Diego State's new football general manager, Caleb Davis, who was at Notre Dame and now is with Sean Lewis here at San Diego State. And how long has it been now with the Aztecs? A few weeks?
Keep saying about a month. About a month. I think. Gosh, I'm losing track of the days, but yeah, right about a month so far.
What has the overall experience been like? Acclimated to a new program, a new role that wasn't previously at San Diego State. What has this first month been like for you?
Number one, I would say, is just connecting with everyone within, obviously, the program, the university, but like the guys first and foremost, especially as we, transition into the portal that just opened up a few days ago. It's like, my first order of business was just how can I connect with these players first. So that was step one. And then outside of that, just acclimating to San Diego, kind of moving out here personally and figuring some things out, but really just starting to learn everything about the university, the city, and kind of just get my feet under me as we go into this thing.
Well, what's it been like for you to work with head coach Sean Lewis so far?
Oh, it's been awesome. It's been awesome. He
makes you want to run through a wall when you talk to him.
Makes you want to run through a wall, but he's just got a great vision for this thing, and he's an easy one to work for because of how open, transparent, and honest he is. That he just wants what's best for these kids, what's best for San Diego State, what's best for the city, and he's an easy guy to want to work for.
Caleb Davis is with us. He's San Diego State's first ever football general manager. It's amazing because FBS football is so large, right? You've got the P4 level. You have an independent like Notre Dame, but it's operated obviously as a power for such a long time. You have Group of 5 programs. San Diego State's history has had a ton of success, obviously, in football. But what is it like when you transition from a program like Notre Dame that just a year ago was playing for a national championship to a Group of 5 here at San Diego State that's on the come? Like the Aztecs, what is that experience like for you, seeing how it's run at Notre Dame and then transitioning here to San Diego State?
I think first off, it gives great perspective because you get to take a lot of experiences that, yeah, I've learned from Notre Dame, but I've also learned from a similar level when we were at Cincinnati, which is kind of where I take a lot of what I learned, because Cincinnati, we were American Conference. We had a city at our back. We were coming off a 4-8 season. The head coach before Coach Fickle got there had gotten let go. So it wasn't this hot shot program, Big 12 program at the time. It was we're an American program. Yeah, it's trending upwards, but how can we get our feet under us and really enhance this thing? And I took a lot of what we learned at Cincinnati, what we grew at Cincinnati, what we developed there, and I see it spot on here. Like, we've got the city at our back. We've got transitioning into the Pac-12. We got so much positive momentum that again, it's a similar place where as soon as we get rolling with this thing, it's going to take off like a rocket ship. So I take a lot of that, and then a lot of just the overarching principles you learn from a place like Notre Dame, just all the things that go into running a program that large, that to get to see firsthand that it's so much more than just X's and O's and roster management and anything. It's people. You're dealing with people, and you're dealing with a large staff of people too. So it's been really, really cool getting to take my experiences from Cincinnati, everything I've learned at Notre Dame, and then even my little stint of running it down at Troy, running a personnel department. So I've been able to take a little bit of everywhere I go, and you kind of get this full picture of a vision and what you believe and how you can kind of achieve the goals here to win championships.
What's your day-to-day like for a GM of a college football team like? What's your day-to-day?
So starts very early.
Okay.
Usually in the office pretty early, tons of phone calls. So whether that's, current guys on the team, high school coaches, recruits, portal recruits, agents, different things, you're on the phone constantly and kind of planning throughout the day. And then a lot of it is overarching vision stuff. So when I'm sitting down at my computer, yeah, you have your daily evaluations, your daily watch list, your daily phone calls, like I hit on, but then I try to carve out at least a little bit of each day to kind of look through the whole vision, the whole roster vision, the 3-year vision, the 3-year outlook, and all the different things that, yeah, we have to build a competitive team every single year, but you also have to have a vision for it in the future. Because if you just plan for 1 year at a time, it's going to fall apart at some point. But if you have a forward-looking vision, a forward-facing vision, then that's kind of how you build sustained success.
Caleb Davis is with us. He's San Diego State's football general manager. So what is this window like? Because we have this spring portal window open across football.
Yep.
What does that look like for you? I would imagine a lot of stay by your phone, Sean was saying, and there's just a lot of what? I mean, interactions going on this time of year?
A lot of interactions. Like we'll have visitors on campus, portal visitors that we're trying to get a part of this team and a part of this program. A lot of it is conversations with guys on the current team to make sure, one, like that's part of why I said the first thing I did was connect with these guys to be able to have a relationship where, yeah, if there is an issue, if a school is trying to tamper with them, different things, they feel comfortable coming into my office and having a conversation. So a lot of it is building relationships. And then right now it's, yeah, you got portal visitors, you got agents you're on the phone with, you're talking with your current guys. And then you're just, again, every single day working towards that vision of different things that just have to be done throughout the day, whether it's forward-facing contracts with the new rev share, different things that didn't exist in college football even 6 months ago.
So I'm guessing your phone has been off the hook. Like, how many phone calls have you taken at least today? At this event? Yeah.
At least 20, probably 30.
Like AJ Preller, the Padres GM. He's always tied to his phone.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it feels like, this job you're never stopping, but I can tell, how excited you are for it.
Absolutely.
Here in San Diego. Cause talking to a lot of people, it's like, this feels like a sleeping giant. And 100%. I'm guessing that's your thought as well.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's one of the few, this program that I get a blessed opportunity to be a part of is one of the rare programs where we have unlimited potential. Because you think about it, like how many other schools, when you look at our coaches, you look at our players, we have 4 NFL Hall of Famers.
Yeah.
We have over 200 players that have played on active NFL rosters. We have 175 draft picks. Like, we've got an elite history. We have a brand new stadium we just built. We have an elite coaching staff, great education, great local talent within the high school ranks. And then you get to do all of that in the great city of San Diego.
Yeah.
One of, if not America's greatest cities in the entire nation.
Yeah.
So when you have all of that stuff, like, the one thing that has ever held this program back has been the brand of the conference. And we're transitioning into the Pac-12, and there's nothing holding us back. Like, when you look at every single recruiting battle that we might have lost in the past, every single little thing that might have held us back, like, it's gone now. Now we have the opportunity that as we continue to build this thing, win football games, win championships, and just get the entire city to rally around us, there's nothing that holds San Diego State back.
What does revenue share, like, there's this settlement out there, and for, it's not maybe the greatest radio topic, but once revenue share kicks in,
let's go.
But what does that mean? Like, does that change the way you go about doing your job immediately? Like, are players then under revenue contracts? Like, what does that mean for San Diego State moving forward once that settlement is approved?
Well, there's a lot of stuff that goes moving forward into it, but I think one of the common misconceptions is, like, this has been a plan for a long time.
Right.
So it's not like this revenue sharing agreement just changes everything. It's been a plan for over 6 months. So we've planned for it really, really well. We're super up to date on it. I've been shocked with how great the systems are here. When I first started my interview process, just everything that JD is doing upstairs, that Tim Lansky's doing in compliance. Like, we've got a huge team of people that are forward thinking, that are always working to stay ahead of things. So it's not, yes, there are contracts, there are different things. We will eventually get to a point where we are paying these players. It's not just necessarily collective, but there's still value of all of it, of every single little bit, collective involved, AztecLink, everything that they do for us. Like, every part of it is invaluable, that it all goes into making a kid feel special at San Diego State.
Have you had an opportunity to enjoy San Diego at all?
Have you been to the beach?
Yeah. Have you been out anywhere?
The phone works at the beach.
But believe it or not, no, not yet. I've had 2 Sundays where I got with my girlfriend and we planned on going to the beach, and then different things might have popped up, or so not yet. I think the moment the portal closes and we feel good about everything, I might take a couple of days and just sit out there, and I might not even move. I might just be sleeping out on the beach for.
Is that what you're looking forward to the most? Is when you have at least like a couple hours to do something?
I'm looking forward. I would say the thing I'm looking forward to most is the first Saturday in Snapdragon Stadium.
Okay,
that's the one thing that I go to bed dreaming about every single night. Just the whole fan base, the city behind there. My second dream is being able to just lay out at the beach and just relax for a little
Have
bit.
a California burrito and you'll be good to go.
Yes.
Was your girlfriend excited when you said, how's San Diego State? I mean, listen, with FBS football, you could be anywhere from upstate New York to Southern California, right?
I think San Diego State was definitely a better option than probably 99.9% of them. Because there were a few different options that had kind of come across the table that was like, hey, what do you think about this one, this one, this one? And there were a couple, she's like, oh, heck no. Never. Don't even, like, well, what are you doing even saying that? And
Wyoming, right? Yeah.
let's just name drop every single.
There we go. So, Wyoming.
But no, and then San Diego State, just really for her, it was the people here, like, because I got to be out here before. She's actually moved out here and everything, but I was out here the first 3 weeks before our spring break, before she got out here, and just the comfortability with the staff and the coaching staff, wife, group chat, like all those little things that go into a football program that people might not even realize. Like, she's loved it.
Caleb, congratulations, man. We're excited for tomorrow at Snapdragon Stadium at the Spring Showcase. We're looking forward to the fall. We know you're going to be busy between now and that home opener against Stony Brook coming up in August, actually on a Thursday night. But we're looking forward to everything to come, and congratulations on this new role with San Diego State.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
Awesome to meet you in person. Caleb Davis, San Diego State's first ever general manager. We'll come back. We're at Riverwalk. We'll wrap things up here until 6 p.m. Jon and Jim.
All right, Jon and Jim, San Diego Sports 760. Fun afternoon out here. Riverwalk for this great event, the 2025 AztecLink Coryell Classic Golf Tournament. If you want to bid on this live auction, you don't have to be here. You can go online. I retweeted a link from Jon Schaeffer on X. They've got a live auction going on until 7:30, including a Fernando Tatis Jr. signed jersey. That current bid is up to $785, Jim, which I still think is a steal.
Go bid on it. See what happens.
When the show's over, I'm on the air.
Go bid on it. See what happens. I want you to.
I'll set my top bid at like $10,000.
Perfect.
So then I'll get it.
There you go.
But anyway, if you want to,
Jones doesn't need college anyways.
No. Give him a jersey that he'll have to do nothing with forever.
Right. Let's just say college is overrated at an event based around a college.
Okay. Perfect.
No, but yeah. So anyway, the live auction's going on right now, and it's going on until 7:30 to support AztecLink, San Diego State football. And again, get out to Snapdragon Stadium tomorrow. Spring Showcase from 1 to 3. Gates open at noon. Free tickets available at goaztecs.com. We're not doing a back page, are we?
I mean, I had some stuff, but I just wanted to give an update on
what's going on with the
Padres game. So that amazing, unforgettable Tyler Wade RBI ground out.
It was incredible.
Yeah, that didn't last for long.
The lead didn't hold?
The lead did not hold. Cam Smith, you know Cam Smith.
Yeah, I do.
3-run home run. Houston leads the Padres 3-1 in the bottom of the third inning.
This is with Kyle Hart on the mound for San Diego tonight.
Yeah, he just threw a fat one up the middle and just got launched.
All right, so 3-1 Houston, opening up a 3-game
Oh, the game's
series.
actually happening literally right behind us.
Yeah, on television.
I think
They
if you're
put
watching
these
on
things
YouTube,
TV.
you could actually see the game. Kind of.
Oh, because it's in the background, you're saying?
Yeah,
if you're watching us on YouTube.
Yeah.
All right, well, it's still early. It's just the third inning. 3-1 Houston opening up that 3-game series. Do you want to do a back page?
I mean, I could if you want me to do one.
Brent, do you have the back page open? He does.
So, Star Wars, John. You know Star Wars, right?
Yeah, I know about it.
That one thing.
Yeah, I know about it.
They are having what is it called, Brent? It's not like what's it called? What are they having right now? It's like a Star Wars
Comic-Con,
like an event, right?
Okay.
All week. They announced a couple things. First up, The Mandalorian and Grogu. You know The Mandalorian.
Watching? It was on like Disney Plus. I had to watch an episode. I didn't like it.
You watch one episode and then you bounce.
Made no sense, right?
Okay. Anyway, they announced yesterday that the Mandalorian and Grogu movie officially is set to hit theaters on May 22nd, 2026. Are you excited about that, John?
Wait, is it two movies or are they together?
It's the name of the movie is called The Mandalorian and Grogu.
No, I'm not excited.
Why not?
Because there's already been a TV show. What could possibly happen? The Mandalorian beats Grogu. Or Grogu beats the Mandalorian, or maybe
talking
the
about movies with you is,
I don't care. I'm not going to get excited for something that's a year, 13 months away. That's a 2-hour movie.
Why not?
I'm not sure. It's just how I'm wired.
Another movie. This is kind of a new movie. Star Wars set here is it's called Star Wars Starfighter. John.
Okay.
It will release on May 28th, 2027, starring Ryan Gosling. Do you know who that is?
Is that the name of the movie?
Do you know who Ryan Gosling is?
Yes.
Who? Don't tell him, Brent.
I think he was on like Entertainment Tonight or something.
You literally watched one of his movies.
It's the last movie you saw.
What was the last movie I saw? Oh, yeah, Barbie.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Good job.
he's Barbie.
Yes.
I know Barbie.
Congratulations.
So there's a Barbie movie?
He's not Barbie. He's Ken.
He's Ken. But is Ken now going to be a part of Star Wars moving forward?
I just said starring Ryan Gosling, this new Star Wars movie called Star Wars Starfighter.
Is it co-branded, though, with Barbie?
I hate you, dude. Oh, man.
When's that come out?
I just said 2027.
Good, 2027.
Auntie Anne's. You know Auntie Anne's.
Auntie Anne?
Yeah. No, Auntie Anne's.
The pretzel place.
Yeah, the pretzel place is giving away free pretzels on April 26th, John. Do you know that? Because it's National Pretzel Day, April 26th. Pretzel lovers can head to participating Auntie Anne's location stores to pick up a free original or cinnamon sugar pretzel. No purchase necessary.
You just go over and pick one up.
Yeah, so be on the lookout next week. Set your calendars to go get a free pretzel or a free cinnamon sugar pretzel.
I'll do that.
How about that? And finally, John, Crumble Cookie. We love Crumble Cookie on this show. Crumble Cookie is testing out a new dessert item expected to be released nationwide. You know, the whole Dubai, like pistachio chocolate bars that are kind of like making their ways around social media. Of course you don't. Crumble is tapping into one of the hottest dessert trends with a new indulgent creation, the Dubai chocolate brownie. It's currently in its testing phases, but is expected to be released nationwide later in the year. The Dubai chocolate brownie features a dense, fudgy brownie based with a creamy pistachio filling, all encased in a crackable chocolate shell. Does that excite you?
No, because I like what they were doing previously, which is just making good cookies.
Well, this is like a giant cookie with 7,000 calories.
That looks unbelievable.
Doesn't that look amazing?
That looks amazing.
I would eat one of those, and I'd be full for the next 3 days.
It's like 2 meals right there.
It looks amazing. Look at that, Mike.
Look at that.
Isn't that amazing?
Come on.
Yeah, I know.
It looks unbelievable.
So there you go.
That's
Boom.
a nice job.
How you doing?
All right, so we're going to be back Monday at 2 p.m. to recap this weekend at Snapdragon Stadium, the Spring Showcase, and, of course, Padres and Astros as well. We've got a wrap-up show tonight.
Yes, we do.
Game 1, Padres-Astros in Houston. If you missed anything today, great conversations, by the way. JD Wicker, San Diego State's Athletic Director, Trey White, Aztec's outstanding defensive lineman, edge rusher, Sean Lewis, San Diego State's head coach. We had Kevin Acee on the show today with some health updates on the Padres. Caleb Davis, the new general manager. Brenden Hill was with us. We had some great conversations. You'll be able to find those at sportssd.com, also on the iHeart Radio app. So, again, we are back on Monday. Is the music playing? I don't hear music.
It is.
It is playing. How come I can't hear it?
It's called Wrap It Up.
All right. For Mike Usher, for Brent, for Jim, I'm John. Keep it here at San Diego Sports 760.
Okay, bye.